Chapter 1477. United Guardian Altar. Qin Yin looked at the altar in the distance and thought to himself, it should be related. Yin, what do you think about the altar in Floating Cloud City? One of the 99 Suns sects has been destroyed. I'm guessing that your previous life had something to do with the 9 Suns sect that was destroyed. That's why you kept the altar there. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun obtained a teleportation formation from Floating Cloud City's sun altar. He can teleport back in the future. I'll enter the city first. Qin Yun previously asked Immortal Emperor Fiend Mirror for more than 100 million immortal jade beads. He felt that these immortal jade beads are enough. The holy city of Slaughter didn't have a gate, but there were 2 huge pillars at the entrance. There is a translucent golden curtain on the 2 pillars. If one were to barge indirectly, they would be injured by the curtain. With enough immortal jade beads, entering the city was very simple. One only needed to purchase an entrance token from outside. It was just that the city entrance token was more expensive, nearly 50 million immortal jade beads. If you don't want to pay so many immortal jade beads and still want to enter the city, then you have to join the Scarlet Slaughter Holy City and become a member. Therefore, many people with a bit of strength, but without immortal jade beads, could only join the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. Qin Yun used 50 million to purchase the city entrance token and successfully passed through the curtain at the entrance and entered the city. The holy city of Scarlet Slaughter was huge, but there were only a few tens of thousands of people inside, and most of them had joined the holy city of Scarlet Slaughter. Only about 10,000 people could afford to pay tens of millions for an entrance token. When Qin Yun bought the city entrance token, he heard that members of large factions can buy the city entrance token at half price. If the holy city of Scarlet Slaughter had many large powers, it could increase the overall strength of the entire city. Moreover, the holy city of Scarlet Slaughter would also recruit geniuses from those great powers. They should have already subdued some inscription beasts. Those powerful inscription beasts are a great threat. Qin Yun thought to himself as he walked on a wide road. The road led directly to the sun altar in the middle. The sun altar was located within a huge mountain villa. And that villa is the palace of the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City's city lord. The warriors from Sacred Desolate, as well as the outstanding core disciples, are all in that villa. Qin Yun looked at the villa surrounded by high walls in front of him. Using the Extinction Spirit Eye, he could see that there were several layers of barriers surrounding the villa. They are well prepared. When Qin Yun saw the villa's barrier, he knew that it would be very difficult to break in. He could only sneak in. Now everyone knows that Qin Yun is very likely to attack the Scarlet Slaughter Holy City and destroy the sun altar inside. Therefore, it is very difficult to sneak into the City Lord Palace. On the streets, Qin Yun learned of some news. It was said that the Crimson Slaughter Sacred City had invited many powerful Earth Immortals from major factions to guard the sun altar together. The Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City's way of doing things is very smart. They invited many great powers of the Immortal Desolate to protect the sun altar. If you attack, you will inevitably kill the Earth Immortals of those great powers. This way, you will become the enemy of all the great powers of the Immortal Desolate. Ling Yuner said, the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City has the sun altar. Moreover, they have brought many good Sacred Tear tool, refining materials, and Sacred Tear pills from Sacred Desolate. It is enough for those great powers to sign soul contract with them to protect the sun altar. Qin Yun nodded and said, the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is not stupid. After they found out that Qin Yun is a 9th stage Earth Immortal, they believe that Qin Yun has enough power to destroy their sun altar. After all, there is the precedent of Dao Yang God Sect's altar being destroyed. They did not go to cause trouble for Qin Yun during this period of time, because they are very clear that even if they go to Heavenly Wind God Mountain to cause trouble for Qin Yun, they would only be delivering their heads. Therefore, they strengthened the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City's defense and joined hands with many great powers Earth Immortals to wait for Qin Yun to walk right into their trap. These guys are hiding inside and not coming out. It will be very strenuous for me to attack. Moreover, I will be attacked from inside. While walking, Qin Yun is thinking of an idea. He is holding the spirit-chasing talisman in his hand. The talisman is flickering with light rays. It is used to find Xiao Yuanmei. This little girl, she really came here to cause trouble. Qin Yun followed the direction of the spirit-chasing talisman and walked out of the bustling central area of the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. He arrived at a place with mountains, rivers, and many houses. The main reason why the disciples of the aristocratic families came to the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is to cultivate and also to befriend the people of Sacred Desolate. The immortal energy inside the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is very dense. Moreover, it is mixed with a lot of divine power. After all, the Scarlet Slaughter Swamp is formed from a huge Sun Divine stone. The Sun Divine power here is very dense. After Qin Yun arrived at the residential area, he feels somewhat suspicious because this kind of residence is very expensive and Xiao Yuanmei is staying here. The letter says that Yuanmei secretly ran here. It is impossible for Guanghan Palace to send disciples here. Then why is Yuanmei staying in this kind of high-grade residence? Qin Yun arrived in front of a large courtyard. There are many small buildings inside the large courtyard. It is clear that there are many people living inside. Although the courtyard is surrounded by high walls, there is no barrier protecting it. After Qin Yun concealed himself, he directly jumped inside. He is hiding his aura and is very careful. After all, this is the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. If he makes a big commotion, it will not be small trouble. There are 5 buildings in the courtyard, and the direction pointed by the spirit-chasing talisman is the smallest building. It has a total of 2 floors. It is also very remote. It is near the wall. Qin Yun quickly walked over and saw that the door in the middle of the first floor is open. He can directly see the small living room. As soon as he walked over, he saw Xiao Yuanmei. Xiao Yuanmei is wearing a simple white dress. Her hair is tied up in a pair of ponytails. Her pretty and adorable face seems to be even more moist and also more gentle and beautiful. Her pair of beautiful eyes are filled with mischievous expression. She is looking at the dozen or so delicious desserts on the table with a smile. She licked her lips and began secretly eating the desserts on the table. Just as Qin Yun is about to go over, he suddenly sensed someone coming over. He promptly arrived beside the big tree and, through the tree totem, he fused his aura with the big tree. This way he can completely conceal himself. Xiao Yuanmei promptly stopped stealing. Moreover, she stealthily took away many desserts and fruits. Then she moved to the side and slightly lowered her head. The people who have arrived are handsome men and beautiful women. Looking at their attire, it is clear that they are children of great families. Their aura is also not weak. They are all very strong earth immortals. At this time, a petite girl sitting in a wheelchair came out from a room. Xiao Yuanmei promptly pushed the wheelchair and lightly yelled, "Seventh Miss, they have arrived." MMM. The wheelchair girl lightly nodded. The wheelchair girl also has a pair of ponytails, just like Xiao Yuanmei. It is clear that Xiao Yuanmei helped her. The young girl's complexion is somewhat pale. Although she is very beautiful, she lacks a bit of spiritual energy. But her eyes are very delicate and moving. They are filled with unswerving determination. The young girl is sitting in a wheelchair, adding on her frail body. She must have been seriously injured or have some kind of strange disease. "Brothers and sisters, you all look very happy," the young girl said with sweet smile after seeing those young men and women into the room. "Ying, we just returned from Holy City's main hall. We saw the geniuses of all the famous sects in Immortal Desolate." A handsome man said with proud smile. "Especially the children of immortal families. They are truly too awesome. Not only are they very strong, they even master Tao techniques. I feel that the disciples of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate are the most awesome. Their bodies are covered with totems. Our Xiao family is also not weak. Our inscription technique is very strong. Big Brother's performance is very good. He received the applause of many people. Those young men and women are constantly talking about what they saw and heard in Holy City's main hall. Then, brothers and sisters, did you ask the people of Sacred Desolate about my strange disease?" Xiao Yingying asked in low voice. About this, temporarily not. But don't worry, we will definitely help you ask. Yingying, the snacks you made are very delicious. A woman said with smile. If it's delicious, then eat more. Xiao Yingying's haggard face is filled with a happy and sweet smile. Xiao Yuemei lowered her head and kept swallowing her saliva. She looked at those people eating snacks with a very unhappy expression. It made her feel like she is feeding a pig with good food. Qin Yun now understands that this is the residence of the Xiao family, one of the 3 great inscription families. Xiao Yuemei must be pretending to be Xiao Yingying's maid. Xiao Yingying has a strange disease. She came here to see a doctor, but her brothers and sisters don't seem to take this matter to heart. Ling Yuner said. After those brothers and sisters ate the snacks for a while, they packed them up and took them away. Not a single one was left behind. This made Xiao Yuemei so angry that she secretly stamped her feet. 7th Miss, they don't even take your strange disease to heart. They only think about your sacred infant fruit snacks all day long. Those snacks were made by you using the sacred infant fruit. They are so delicious, they are all ruined by them. Xiao Yuemei lightly groaned and said, Yuemei, maybe they won't have a chance to ask. Xiao Yingying lightly sighed. I'm going to rest. Xiao Yuemei promptly pushed Xiao Yingying into the room, then walked out of the room and closed the door. She sat on a chair in the living room and began eating the snacks she just took away. Qin Yun suddenly walked over and appeared in the living room. When Xiao Yuemei saw someone suddenly appear, she was about to shout, but Qin Yun covered her mouth. Yuemei, it's me, Qin Yun said in low voice. Don't you remember me? Xiao Yuemei opened her eyes wide and looked at Qin Yun. She promptly shook her head and even bit Qin Yun's hand. If you don't shout, I'll let go, Qin Yun said in low voice. Xiao Yuemei nodded. After Qin Yun removed his hand, Xiao Yuemei promptly took out a small dagger and placed it on Qin Yun's abdomen. She said very fiercely, Scoundrel, who the hell are you? Although I'm very small, I'm very strong. I'm your brother. Don't you remember me? Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuemei's eyes and said anxiously, How can I have a brother? However, you look very familiar. I think I've seen you somewhere before. Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. Suddenly, Xiao Yingying's door opened. 7th Miss, why did you come out? Xiao Yuemei promptly walked over and supported Xiao Yingying, who was leaning on a walking stick. Who is he? Xiao Yingying looked at Qin Yun and asked in low voice. Xiao Yuemei promptly said, He is my little brother. He is a very honest person, just a bit stupid. Hello, big sister. Qin Yun immediately grinned at Xiao Yingying. Chapter 1478. Xiao Yingying Chapter 1478. Xiao Yingying. Qin Yun indeed changed his appearance. It is not strange for him to look like an uncle. He feels very sad in his heart because it seems like Xiao Yuemei doesn't remember him. Otherwise, even if he changed his appearance to an old man, Xiao Yuemei would have recognized him very quickly. 7th Miss, my silly little brother's strength is very good. Can you let him stay and give him food and lodging? Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. Yuemei, is he really your little brother? He is just an uncle. Xiao Yingying sat on a chair with Xiao Yuemei's help. Her eyebrows are slightly knitted as she looked at Qin Yun. Xiao Yuemei said with smile, My silly little brother changed his appearance. As she spoke, she waved her hand and brought out some water. She gently sprinkled it on Qin Yun's face, wiping away the special makeup on his face. Very soon, Qin Yun's handsome face with distinct outline appeared. He really changed his appearance. Yuemei, your little brother is just as good looking as you. Xiao Yingying looked at Qin Yun and said with gentle smile, All right, I will let him stay, but I am worried that my brothers and sisters won't agree. Qin Yun doesn't know what Xiao Yuemei is doing. She actually wants him to stay. He also knows that Xiao Yuemei has a very good feeling towards him. That is why she wants him to stay. Xiao Yun, maybe this girl Yuemei remembers you. She is just pretending not to remember you, Ling Yuner suddenly said. This suddenly reminded Qin Yun. Xiao Yuemei is very mischievous. Maybe she is playing a prank on him right now. 7th Miss, my silly little brother is actually very small. He used a secret technique to become so big. After speaking, Xiao Yuemei placed her hand on Qin Yun's back and poured in a very strong earth immortal power. Qin Yun is secretly amazed. Xiao Yuemei is actually a very strong ninth-layer earth immortal. Suddenly, Qin Yun felt that his body is somewhat itchy. Not long after, his body shrunk a lot. He became small. Xiao Yingying opened her beautiful eyes wide. Her small mouth slightly opened in shock and yelled. Qin Yun has turned into a young and tender youth. He looks like 12 or 13 years old. He is a bit shorter than Xiao Yuemei. Silly little brother. Xiao Yuemei charmingly laughed and rubbed Qin Yun's young and inexperienced little handsome face. This is Xiao Yuemei's transformation technique. She can make people smaller or change their appearance. She can even turn a man into a woman. Several times before, Xiao Yuemei wanted to turn Qin Yun into a girl. All right, he will be my little attendant from now on. Xiao Yingying was a 13 or 14-year-old girl. She felt that it would be nice to have a handsome young man accompanying her. Seventh young mistress, go and rest. Xiao Yuemei signaled Qin Yun with her eyes and said, silly little brother, quickly carry seventh miss inside. Qin Yun hurriedly walked over and crouched down. Xiao Yuemei took care of Xiao Yingying and let her lie on Qin Yun's back. Qin Yun carried Xiao Yingying on his back. He felt that Xiao Yingying was a little heavy, but he believed that Xiao Yingying had armor on her body. She carried Xiao Yingying into the room and let her sit on the bed. Then Xiao Yuemei helped her lie down. Yuemei, what is your brother's name? Xiao Yingying asked. Xiao Yuemei looked at Qin Yun and said, silly little brother, what is your name? Seventh young mistress, you can call me Xiao Yun. Qin Yun grinned. Xiao Yun, I still have some snacks here. Xiao Yingying lied down on the bed and picked up a small box from the bedside. When she handed it to Qin Yun, her delicate arms are trembling. It seems like it is very strenuous for her to lift the box. Qin Yun promptly took it and touched Xiao Yingying's lily-white hand. He suddenly felt a very strange power. When he was carrying Xiao Yingying on his back, he probed her body, but he did not discover anything. Xiao Yingying's situation is indeed very strange. Thank you, seventh miss. Qin Yun politely thanked her. Xiao Yingying is indeed a very innocent and kind little girl. Her current appearance caused Qin Yun's heart to ache. Xiao Yuemei promptly pulled Qin Yun out of Xiao Yingying's room. Qin Yun was pulled into another room by Xiao Yuemei. Here you go. Qin Yun handed over the box to Xiao Yuemei. Thank you. Xiao Yuemei took the box and said with a smile. She opened the box and saw the snacks inside. She very quickly smiled in satisfaction and took out a white pastry and handed it over to Qin Yun. Qin Yun took the pastry and ate it, praising it incessantly. Hey, who the hell are you? If you did not give me a familiar feeling, I would have already called people and would not have let you stay here. Xiao Yuemei asked while eating the pastry. Yuemei, do you really not remember me? Qin Yun stared at Xiao Yuemei's eyes and asked, who the hell are you? Could it be that you are my enemy? Xiao Yuemei immediately vigilantly said, don't act recklessly, I am very strong. Qin Yun has now turned into a young boy, but his power is still there. He said with a smile, Yuemei, don't pretend, you definitely remember me. After speaking, he extended his hand to pinch Xiao Yuemei's face, but was slapped away by Xiao Yuemei. Don't touch me, I really don't know you. Xiao Yuemei lightly groaned and said, you bastard, be a bit more honest. Just follow me with peace of mind. Take good care of seventh miss, and be my silly little brother. Qin Yun is somewhat driven mad because his intuition is telling him that Xiao Yuemei must have recovered her memories. Now she is pretending to not know him and playing with him. If it was someone else, they might not be able to do anything to Xiao Yuemei, but Qin Yun very quickly thought of a way. He took out a jade box and said, Yuemei, do you know what is inside? Xiao Yuemei looked at the jade box, blinked her eyes, and used her mental power to probe it. I don't know what is inside. Xiao Yuemei wanted to snatch the jade box, but Qin Yun promptly put it away. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, there is food inside. It is called unruffled intoxicated soul meat. It is so delicious that it can intoxicate people's soul and cause them to forget their feelings. Liar, there is definitely nothing inside. Xiao Yueme curled her lips and said, but she secretly swallowed her saliva. Unruffled, intoxicated soul meat is made from immortal Dragon King meat. There are 7 ways to make dragon meat: roast, fry, steam, stir fry, boil, and fry. Put together dragon meat made from different methods. Then use a secret technique to fuse all the dragon meat together and finally refine it. There are 7 different flavors in one bite. This kind of feeling is so beautiful that it can cause people to forget their 7 emotions and become intoxicated. Qin Yun chuckled and said, "This is a gift from an immortal emperor. You know, that immortal emperor is the successor of the divine, desolate food god. Quickly give it to me." Xiao Yueme finally could not bear it anymore. She pinched Qin Yun's handsome face and anxiously shouted, "I want to eat. I want to eat. Quickly give it to me." Qin Yun pushed away Xiao Yueme's hand and said with a smile, "That immortal emperor told me that people with low cultivation should not eat it, otherwise they would not be able to endure this kind of extreme delicacy. You also saw it, this box is sealed. If it is open, that kind of delicacy, it can make people salivate for 3,000 feet. I ate it once before. I was intoxicated by that kind of delicacy and was unable to extricate myself. When I woke up, 7 days had already passed." Xiao Yueme grinded her jade teeth and looked at Qin Yun as if she is extremely hungry. Her expression is as if she wants to eat Qin Yun up. "You, don't say any more. Quickly take it out and let me have a taste," Xiao Yueme said with slight anger. "If you don't give it to me, I will be angry. As long as you say my name, I will let you eat it," Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. "You, how would I know what your name is? Aren't you called Xiao Yun?" Xiao Yueme suddenly became vigilant and said with low snort, "You bastard, are you lying to me? It seems like you really don't remember me. AI, to think that I kept this box of intoxicated soul for getting meat for so long." Qin Yun let out a long sigh and said, forget it. I will go back and eat it myself. I also want to forget everything in this world." After speaking, he was about to leave the room. Xiao Yueme promptly rushed over and pulled his hand. "Brother, I was wrong. Quickly give me a taste. I'm dying of hunger." Wretched girl. Qin Yun turned around, pinched her cheeks, and said with mischievous smile, "You are still too tender in front of me. I knew you were pretending. Let me have a taste." Xiao Yueme hugged Qin Yun and shook his body. I want to eat. All right. The intoxicated soul, forgetting meat, is here," Qin Yun said with a smile. He opened the box and slightly heated it up. There's indeed a fragrant dragon meat inside. Moreover, it is flickering with faint golden light. Xiao Yueme promptly took it, used her mental power to control the dragon meat to float up and eat it. Oomph. I knew there was no intoxicated soul forgetting meat. After Xiao Yueme ate it, she lightly groaned and said, "All right, but at least there is good dragon meat. It is very tasty." Qin Yun knew that Xiao Yueme would definitely take the bait, but he did not disappoint her completely. After all, there is still delicious dragon meat. "You little girl, why did you come to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City by yourself?" Qin Yun pinched her charming cheeks. "Still pretending to forget me, still calling me your silly little brother. You are becoming more and more naughty." Xiao Yueme curled her lips and said, "Aren't I helping you conceal your identity? This way, who would suspect you?" "That's true. Qin Yun is very satisfied with his identity as a young boy. My good brother, you also saw 7th Miss situation, right? She is so pitiful. Do you have any solution?" "Anyway, I don't have any solution." Xiao Yueme suddenly frowned and said with bitter expression, "How do you know Xiao Ying?" Qin Yun asked. "It was Big Sister who arranged for me to infiltrate Xiao family and follow them to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. She is a Dao immortal. She can't come to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. So let me help you," Xiao Yueme said. "Yuelon is really something." Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. "Big Sister is just concerned about you." Xiao Yueme giggled and said, "Brother, did you and Big Sister succeed?" "We almost succeeded, but we were interrupted," Qin Yun said. "Useless." Xiao Yueme ate the dragon meat and said with mocking expression, Qin Yin rubbed Xiao Yuemei's charming face and asked, "What is Xiao Yingying's situation?" "I don't know. When I infiltrated Xiao family, she was already like this," Xiao Yuemei said. "She is really good. The pastries she makes are very delicious. They're even made with sacred infant fruits energy. I will have to examine her in detail to figure out her situation," Qin Yun said. "Don't look at her like this. She is Xiao family master's most beloved granddaughter. If you cure her, Xiao family will not treat you unfairly," Xiao Yuemei said with mischievous smile. "Xiao family is an inscription aristocratic family. They have many good things." Suddenly, someone entered the small living room. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei immediately noticed. Chapter 1479, Mysterious Ability. Chapter 1479, Mysterious Ability. Just as Qin Yun was about to go out, Xiao Yuemei suddenly pulled him back. "Don't go out first. Let's see what that guy is doing." Xiao Yuemei took out a small mirror and saw the situation inside the small hall. Qin Yun saw a shifty-looking thin-faced youth. Is the fifth young master. This guy is called Xiao Zhongjie. He is seventh young Mrs. fifth brother. He has the same father, but different mother, Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. "What is he doing inside the hall? Why is he not knocking on the door?" Xiao Zhongjie is indeed sitting inside the hall with his eyes closed. It is unknown what he is doing. "Yuemei, did you forget about me before?" Qin Yun suddenly asked. "How is that possible? I can't forget about you." Xiao Yuemei stuck out her tongue and said with smile, "Others forgot about you, like Xiao Tian and Sister Yi." Back then, Xiao Yuemei, Kong Feiqing, Gong Fian, and Yi Yaoxue followed Yu Shutian to search for the star god altar in the starry sky. Now they're all inside the Guanghan Palace. "You lied to me," Qin Yun lightly groaned and said. "Evil God told me before that you forgot about me. He mentioned me many times in front of you, but you just don't remember." "Really? Evil God really said that? This guy is definitely talking nonsense. How come I don't remember him contacting me?" Xiao Yuemei mumbled in low voice, then looked at the mirror and said, "Brother, look at that guy. He took out a box of pastries and put it on the table. What is he doing? You little girl, you just don't want to admit it, even if you die." Qin Yun pinched her little face and said with smile, "All right, it was little Mei who helped me recover that part of my memory. Little Mei is really awesome. If not for her, we would have cultivated Saint Tyr's soul to remember you." Xiao Yuemei stuck out her tongue and said. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei are inside the room. There is a sound isolation barrier set up by Xiao Yuemei. Her mirror has the ability of Gemini Treasure Mirror. She has recorded some runes in it for so many years, it can be used to make simple talismans and formations. She is now looking at the situation inside the hall through the mirror. That fifth young master, Xiao Zhongjie, took out a box of pastries and sat there for a while. Then he knocked on Xiao Yuemei's door. Qin Yun immediately turned invisible. Xiao Yuemei lightly snorted and said, "This fifth young master is trying to play tricks in front of me? How stupid." She walked over to open the door and pretended to be very humble, like a little maid. "Fifth young master, what's the matter?" Xiao Yuemei asked in a low voice. "I remember your name is Huang Mei, right?" Xiao Zhongjie asked. "It's Yuemei," Xiao Yuemei whispered. "Moldy as in moldy? Does it mean that the moon is moldy?" "Ha ha, what a good name." Xiao Zhongjie's pointy mouth was smiling, and he looked like he deserved a beating. Xiao Yuemei is very calm, otherwise she would have already jumped up and slapped him. "Fifth young master, seventh miss is resting," Xiao Yuemei said again. "I know. That's why I came to find you." Xiao Zhongjie smiled and said, "There's a box of pastries outside. When the third young master comes, give it to him." "That box of pastries." Xiao Yuemei stretched her neck and looked at the table. "In seventh sister asked me to give it to third brother. I suddenly had something to do, so I asked third brother to come and take it himself." "All right, that's it. I have urgent matters to attend to. I'll be leaving first." Xiao Zhongjie finished speaking and left in a hurry. Xiao Yuemei hastily went over. Qin Yun is also beside her. "Brother, I bet this box of pastries is poisoned. That guy wants to poison the third young master." Xiao Yuanmei opened the box and saw that there are indeed many pastries inside. She said again, "This is made by seventh miss. I really want to eat it." Qin Yun said, "Yuanmei, what do you plan to do? Give it to the third young master? If it is given to the third young master, and he is poisoned to death, Xiao Zhongjie will frame me or frame seventh miss." Xiao Yuanmei said with frown, "If I don't give it to the third young master and Xiao Zhongjie finds out, he will come looking for trouble with me." She thought for a moment, looked at Qin Yun, and asked, "Brother, come up with an idea." Qin Yun took the box and said with smile, "Have you seen the third young master? Transform me into the third young master's appearance. Tonight, I will sneak into Xiao Zhongjie's room and beat him up. Then I will return the box of pastries to him." This is a good idea, as expected of my brother. At that time, the conflict between Xiao Zhongjie and the third young master will become even deeper. Xiao Yuanmei giggled and caressed Qin Yun's small, handsome face. The sky is gradually turning dark. Xiao Yuanmei transformed Qin Yun into the third young master's appearance. After Qin Yun carefully inspected the box of pastries, he discovered that they are indeed poisoned. He put on night clothes and a mask and quietly arrived at Xiao Zhongjie's room late at night. Xiao Zhongjie is lying on a large white bed with his arms wide open. His body is emitting white mist. He is currently cultivating and has not discovered that someone has arrived. Qin Yun has concealed his aura and is also a 9th-layer Earth Immortal. Xiao Zhongjie, a 7th-layer Earth Immortal, is just a weak chicken in front of him. After Qin Yun rushed over, he stuck a talisman on Xiao Zhongjie's body. This talisman produces a special power that blocks Xiao Zhongjie's throat and prevented him from making any sound. Bang, bang, bang. Qin Yun brandished his fists and started violently beating Xiao Zhongjie. Every time he punched, several hundred punches landed on Xiao Zhongjie's body. In just a short period of time, Xiao Zhongjie's body has been punched from head to toe. His face is swollen and his entire body is in pain. Qin Yun did not use immortal power to avoid leaking his aura. He is only using the power of his body. After the talisman was taken off by Qin Yun, Xiao Zhongjie can finally speak. He painfully groaned and said, "Who are you?" Qin Yun did not reply. Instead, he took out the box of pastries and pinched Xiao Zhongjie's cheek, forcing him to open his mouth. Seeing the box, Xiao Zhongjie's body trembled. Then he started struggling and tried to grab Qin Yun's mask. Qin Yun deliberately let the mask fall. Xiao Zhongjie also saw the third young master's face and immediately became furious. "Third brother, it's a..." Qin Yun picked up the mask and left the box of poison pastries. Then he jumped out of the window and returned to Xiao Yingying's house. Xiao Zhongjie is unable to restrain his anger, but he is somewhat puzzled in his heart. He cursed in low voice. "When did third brother become so powerful? He actually beat me to the point that I can't fight back? Could it be that he broke through? Or was he hiding his strength all along? This bastard almost killed me. No way. I can't suffer like this." After Qin Yun returned, he told Xiao Yuanmei what happened. Hearing this, Xiao Yuanmei laughed delicately again and again. And Qin Yun has been turned back into a handsome young man by Xiao Yuanmei. "Brother, if you want to destroy that altar, you must enter that super large villa. It is very difficult to enter." Xiao Yuanmei said, But I am not afraid because I met the extremely intelligent Queen Yuanmei." Qin Yun said with smile, and then held Xiao Yuanmei's small hand. Xiao Yuanmei very happily smiled and said, "Brother, since you said so, I will definitely help you infiltrate that large villa. Yuanmei, do you have any plan?" Qin Yun said with stern expression, "I do. It is to cure Yingying, that 7th young miss. So long as she recovers, she will be invited to that large villa, and we will be able to sneak in." Xiao Yuanmei said, "Xiao family is one of the 3 great inscription aristocratic families. Moreover, it is a very ancient one. They have many things related to inscription beasts, but they have very high status." Qin Yun said with frown, "Yingying is just a little girl? Can she really enter that large villa?" Xiao Yuanmei pinched Qin Yun's ear and said, "There's a reason why Yingying can be doted on by a Xiao family patriarch. She has a very special ability since childhood. She can resurrect all living things from the dead. What do you mean? Qin Yun asked in amazement. For example, withered flowers, she can resurrect them with just a touch. If someone is about to die, she can release a special ability and resurrect that person. She can even prolong that person's life. Xiao Yuanmei said in low voice. Ying told me this, others don't know. Qin Yun sighed and said, I finally understand her strange illness. She can control this kind of heaven-defying ability. Her life will be shortened. Xiao Yuanmei nodded and said, I also think so. She said that every time she uses that ability, her body will become even weaker. Brother, you have been punished by heavenly punishment before. You should have a lot of experience in fighting against heavens. I don't know, I have to go and take a look. Qin Yin can be considered as someone who has experienced it. He was tortured unbearably before, and there might be other heavenly punishment waiting for him in the future. I will go and take a look at her now. Xiao Yuanmei said, Let's go, Ying trusts me. Qin Yin was pulled by Xiao Yuanmei to Xiao Ying's room. It is the middle of the night. Qin Yin felt that it is not very good. However, Xiao Yuanmei said that she is fine, so he can only follow Xiao Ying into her room. After arriving at Xiao Ying's room, Qin Yun sensed a very dense yin energy. He is extremely alarmed and anxiously shouted, Scram! The yin energy enveloping Xiao Ying's body also suddenly disappeared. Xiao Ying is now sweating profusely. Her haggard little face is filled with pain. Seventh Miss, what happened to you? Xiao Yuanmei promptly walked over and hugged Xiao Ying. Xiao Ying slowly opened her eyes. After seeing Xiao Yuanmei, she tightly hugged Xiao Yuanmei and said in low voice, That thing came again. It is torturing my soul. It wants to take over my body. How long has it been going on? Qin Yun walked over and asked. Xiao Ying looked at Qin Yun. She also knows that Qin Yun just shouted and forced that thing to retreat. It has been several years. It often appears when I am sleeping, causing me great pain. Xiao Ying said in low voice, Xiao Yun, you are really awesome. If not for your voice just now, that thing would not have left and my soul would have continued to be tormented. Is that filthy thing the root of your illness? Xiao Yuanmei asked. I don't know. Xiao Ying shook her head. My body has been very weak since childhood. That thing only appeared in recent years. Qin Yun sat on the bedside and asked, Seventh Miss, can I check your situation? Chapter 1480. The cause of a strange disease. I don't know, but I will definitely do my best. Qin Yun placed his hand on Xiao Ying's back and injected his powerful mental power. Xiao Ying sensed Qin Yun's terrifying mental power and said in shock, Xiao Yun, your mental power is very strong. It seems even stronger than my father's. Xiao Yuanmei said with a smile. Sister Ying, Xiao Yun is very awesome. He can definitely cure you. Xiao Ying nodded. After Qin Yun injected his mental power into Xiao Ying's body, he did not discover anything. Then, he said in a low voice, Sister Ying, relax your mental power. I want to probe your soul. Xiao Ying slowly took a deep breath. Qin Yun guided his mental power into Xiao Ying's soul to conduct a more detailed investigation. Soon, he was surprised to discover that there was a very weak trace of spatial energy left in Xiao Ying's soul. During this period of time, Zhongya had been studying the core of the mirror, studying the space totem carvings, and studying the teleportation talismans. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to discover that weak spatial energy. Xiao Ying's soul and body were fine. They weren't damaged. The reason she was weak was because the power of her body and soul had been stolen bit by bit. Sis Ying, did anyone do anything to your soul in the past? Qin Yun suddenly asked. Xiao Ying shook her head. In my memory, there's no such thing. Why do you think it's a strange illness? Asked Qin Yun. My grandfather said that I have a special ability, but my body can't control it. I need to borrow power from the heavens. I've borrowed it a few times. When I borrow power from the heavens, my body is easily invaded by evil spirits. Xiao Ying sighed. I don't understand this either. It's all from my grandfather. Ling Yuner suddenly said to Qin Yun. Xiao Yun, ask her if she has participated in any large-scale sacrificial ceremony. Sister Ying, have you participated in any large-scale sacrificial ceremonies since you were young? Asked Qin Yun. Yes. It was the Shao clan's clan assembly that happens once every 1,000 years. I was only 2 years old at that time and was placed on an altar. I only remember that much. Xiao Ying thought for a moment, then shook her head and said, I don't remember anything else. Qin Yun heaved a sigh of relief. He roughly understood the reason. Grandpa took me to many people, but none of them knew what kind of strange illness I have. Xiao Ying said with determination. This strange disease has tortured me for many years, but I'm not afraid. I must defeat this strange disease. Xiao Yuanmei knows what Qin Yun has discovered and asked, Xiao Yun, do you know the reason? I roughly know. It's too mysterious. The main thing is that under certain circumstances, Sister Ying's soul can connect with other spaces, or rather, open up tiny spatial rifts. And that space's evil soul power can seep in and absorb her power. Qin Yun said, How can we solve this? Xiao Yuanmei promptly asked. Doesn't it mean that there is someone absorbing Sister Ying's energy? Yes, that guy will not kill her. He will only make her very weak and then possess her body. Then, he will be able to successfully come to this world. Qin Yun said, Fortunately, it is an evil thing. I can temporarily alleviate it. But if I want to completely solve it, I will need some time. Qin Yun finished speaking and took out a talisman. It is a power-storing talisman. He poured overwhelming righteous power into it until the talisman could no longer contain it. Then he handed it over to Xiao Ying. Take it with you. Later when you sleep, that thing won't come and torture you, Qin Yun said with a smile. Then he placed his hand on Xiao Ying's back and poured in his 9th layer Earth Immortal Power. His Earth Immortal Power was cultivated through 9 Sun Divine Spirit Absorbing Sun Power. Then he cultivated it through Nether Sun and Immortal Devil Sacred Body. So, it is very formidable and has very strong recovery power. Xiao Ying said in amazement. Xiao Yun, you are really strong, even stronger than my brothers and sisters. Now Xiao Yuanmei can see that Xiao Ying's complexion has become rosy. She is no longer as haggard as before. Qin Yun mixed overwhelming righteous power with his formidable mental power and then poured it into Xiao Ying's soul, gently wrapping it up. It can only temporarily alleviate it. It can't be completely eradicated. Sister Ying, your soul is very special. Under certain circumstances, it can mysteriously wander around other spaces. Because your soul is too weak, you have been targeted by those evil spirits. Qin Yun said, Thank you, Xiao Yun. I feel much better now. I have never felt so comfortable. Xiao Ying is now very spirited. She is not as haggard as before. Sister Ying, then you should make some delicious pastries for Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuanmei pulled Xiao Ying's warm lily-white hand and said with charming smile. Xiao Ying nodded with smile. I will start now. Let's talk about it at daybreak. Rest well. Qin Yun said with smile. Yuanmei, accompany me to sleep. Xiao Ying pulled Xiao Yuanmei, not letting her go. All right. Xiao Yuanmei also climbed onto Xiao Ying's bed. Qin Yun walked out and closed the door. Ling Yun said, Xiao Yun is the power of heavenly punishment on Ying's body. It's hard to say, but there is definitely some relation. Qin Yun said, she has mastered a very strong rebirth power. It is not as simple as quick recovery. It can bring the dead back to life. I suspect that it is a kind of heavenly rune or divine rune power. But when you probed, you did not discover anything. Ling Yun said, let's talk about it later. Wait for me to contact Big Sister Star God and ask her. She should have a way. Qin Yun said. At daybreak, after Qin Yun washed up, he came to the living room and saw Xiao Yuanmei happily eating pastries and fruits. There are many plates of pastries on the round table in the small living room. There are all kinds of pastries, and they all look very delicious and delicious. Xiao Yuanmei giggled while eating. She is extremely happy. Qingyun also sat at the side and ate. Xiao Yingying is wearing a light yellow long dress. Her small face is rosy and full of vitality, not as pale as paper like before. Her face has a sweet smile, just like Xiao Yuanmei. She is smiling very happily. Sister Yingying, Xiao Yun is very awesome, but don't go around talking about it. Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. And I won't talk nonsense. Xiao Yingying nodded. She saw that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei are enjoying the dessert she made and smiled happily. Not long after, a car arrived outside. The car was even pulled by two black tigers. When Qin Yun saw the two tigers, he thought of the heavenly tiger stars people. Suddenly, a beautiful woman wearing red dress walked down from the car. After she came in, she saw Xiao Yuanmei eating pastries and immediately shouted in anger. This damned girl, she actually dared to eat such precious things. Quickly stop. Xiao Yuanmei and Qin Yun promptly stopped and stood at the side. Sixth sister, why can't Yuanmei eat these pastries? I specially made them for her. Xiao Yingying immediately became dissatisfied. That sixth sister coldly groaned and said, Does a little girl like her deserve to eat? You mix the holy infant fruit's energy to make these things. If you sell them, you will make a profit. What right does a little maid like her have to eat them? Xiao Yuanmei lowered her head and rolled her eyes. If not for Xiao Yingying's face, she would have definitely tormented that sixth sister. Yingying, who is this little demon? That sixth sister saw a handsome little youth, and her expression became even colder. He is Yuanmei's little brother. Xiao Yingying said. What? This little maid even brought her family here. Does she think our Xiao family is her home? Quickly make that little demon scram. That sixth sister finished speaking and said again, How did he enter this holy city? I bought a token to enter. Qin Yun spoke, took out a city entrance token, and said, Yo, 50 million immortal jade beads. You are quite rich. That sixth sister is very astonished because even she is not willing to use so many immortal jade beads to buy a city entrance token. Their Xiao family members don't need to buy a city entrance token to enter the city. They can obtain it for free. Yuanmei is my big sister. I came here to visit her. Qin Yun said again. Truth be told, Yuanmei and I both come from an ancient and mysterious family. Big sister is rather willful. She wanted to come out to see this immortal desolate that is about to perish and just happened to meet Sister Yingying. Seeing Sister Yingying's condition, she stayed by her side to take care of her. Xiao Yuanmei is stunned. She did not expect Qin Yun to suddenly say this. After that sixth sister heard this, she is also very astonished. Qin Yun said again, Big sister Yuanmei has already started to cure Sister Yingying's strange illness. Don't tell me you didn't notice that Sister Yingying is much better? Xiao Yuanmei lightly groaned and said, How could she notice? As soon as she came in, all her attention was on those pastries. That sixth sister also discovered that Xiao Yingying's skin is white and rosy. Her beautiful eyes are intelligent. Her entire person is full of vigor and vitality. Sixth sister, what they said is true. Xiao Yingying also feels that what Qin Yun said is true. Xiao Yuanmei is eating a pastry while walking over. She coldly groaned and said, Xiao Qianqian, you don't know. Actually, it was your grandfather who arranged for me to stay by Sister Yingying's side. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei are experts in deceiving people, and on top of that, they are also very strong. Is this true? Xiao Qianqian doesn't dare to believe it. Xiao Yuanmei faintly smiled and then released a very strong aura. Xiao Qianqian immediately retreated a few steps in fright. Her face is filled with fear as she said, You are very strong. Indeed, Xiao Yuanmei said. All right, grandfather is truly something. He actually did not tell me about this. Xiao Qianqian very quickly calmed down and said, Heavenly Tiger Stars people said that they can cure any strange illness and they don't charge any fees, so I agreed to bring Yingying over to let them take a look. Then let's go meet them. Sister Yingying's strange illness has not been completely cured. If they have a way, that would be for the best. Xiao Yuanmei said, Let's go. After speaking, she put away all the pastries on the table causing sixth sister Xiao Qianqian to gnash her teeth in anger. Xiao Yingying is now listening to Xiao Yuanmei's arrangement and agreed to meet the Heavenly Tiger Star's people. When Qinyin found out that they are from Heavenly Tiger Star, he realized that there is something fishy going on. Heavenly Tiger Star's people are bandits. How could they help people cure illness and not charge any fees? Therefore, Qinyin also boarded the carriage. The two tigers pulling the carriage are from Heavenly Tiger Star. Are we going to enter the City Lord Palace? Xiao Yuanmei asked. Chapter 1481. Looking at the holy infant fruit, Xiao Qianqian saw that Xiao Yuanmei is very strong and is secretly protecting Xiao Yingying. Although she is somewhat suspicious in her heart, she did not ask anything, because she knew from childhood that her grandfather doted on Xiao Yingying very much. Qinyin looks like a young boy, so Xiao Qianqian is not very vigilant. She is only curious about which mysterious family Qinyin came from. Sixth sister, it is very difficult to enter Holy City Palace, but it seems like all of you have entered before, Xiao Yingying said. That is because of our Xiao family status. Although Heavenly Tiger Star is very strong, and their inscription aspect is also not bad, they are inferior to our Xiao family in the aspect of inscription beasts. Xiao Qianqian very proudly said. Therefore, Heavenly Tiger Star is very jealous of our Xiao family. Sixth Miss, since Heavenly Tiger Star is so jealous of Xiao family, why did they agree to treat Sister Yingying? Xiao Yuanmei asked. Don't you find it strange? That's because they gave me face. Our few aristocratic families' younger generation met with Heavenly Tiger Star's Earth Immortals. Then I mentioned Yingying's strange illness in passing. Big brother, third brother, and fifth brother are all there. These three guys have good relationship with Heavenly Tiger Star's people, but they did not mention it. I mentioned it. Xiao Qianqian said. Sixth sister, you are so good to me. Xiao Yingying very happily said. Xiao Yingying, although you and I are half-sisters, among the seven of us, only you and I are women. Of course I have to be good to you. Xiao Qianqian gently caressed her little sister's face and said with gentle smile. Xiao Yuanmei and Qinyin can see that this Xiao Qianqian has her own little scheme. Second brother and fourth brother are also there. Young people from our Xiao family, Qi family, and several other large families are there. Xiao Qianqian said again. Originally, everyone wanted to see you, but because it was not convenient for you, we did not invite you. I am much better now. Xiao Yingying said. It is all thanks to Yuanmei and Xiao Yun. Xiao Yingying looks much younger than Xiao Yuanmei, but Xiao Yuanmei calls her sister. This is also Xiao Yuanmei calling her sister for fun. Sister Yingying, even if Heavenly Tiger Star's people can't cure you, Xiao Yun and I can. Don't worry, Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. She and Qinyin both knew that the Heavenly Tiger Planet's people were attacking the Guanghan Palace, so they were very hostile towards the Heavenly Tiger Planet. They were going over now to see what tricks the people of Heavenly Tiger Planet were playing. Xiao Yingying nodded. Sixth Miss, after we get there, tell those people that we are taking care of Sister Yingying's little attendants. Xiao Yuanmei said. Got it. Xiao Qianqian was very cooperative because she knew that the little servant girl in front of her was very strong. She was secretly sent by her grandfather and came from a very mysterious big family. Not long after, the car drove into a large manor. Xiao Qianqian got out of the car first, then helped Xiao Yingying out. Qinyin and Xiao Yuanmei were the last to go down. They came to a garden. There were dozens of people there. They were all disciples of the big families, and they were all at the Earth Celestial stage. They are here to exchange all kinds of things such as runes, weapons, cultivation, or even some things they have seen and heard. There were also people who took out their proudest immortal artifacts for others to admire. There were also some who took out very rare immortal talismans and proudly talked about the power of those immortal talismans. This kind of exchange gathering is very common. As long as the disciples of the big families gathered together, they would usually hold it. After Xiao Yingying arrived, she attracted the attention of many people. Everyone here knows that Xiao Yingying has obtained the approval of a sacred infant fruit. She can obtain energy from the sacred infant fruit, and then use it to make delicious pastries. It is also because of those pastries that Xiao Yingying's older brothers and sisters treat this little sister very well on the surface. This way, they can obtain more pastries for them to give as gifts. Qin Yin saw the fifth young master Xiao Zhongjie, who was beaten up by him. The injury on his face has actually disappeared, but his complexion is not very good. It is clear that his vitality is greatly injured. After Xiao Yingying arrived, the Xiao family's brothers and sisters immediately greeted her with smiling faces. They all looked somewhat hypocritical. Xiao Yuanmei is already used to this kind of thing. She only lightly snorted. The people from the Heavenly Tiger planet are a few youths wearing white tiger skin clothes. They're all walking over with smiles on their faces. Apart from them, there are also youths from Immortal Family and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate who are looking at Xiao Yingying from the side. It must be known that obtaining the approval of the sacred infant fruit is very difficult. Therefore, everyone here wants to know how Xiao Yingying did it. As more and more divine mountains and holy lands are explored, more and more people have discovered this sacred infant fruit. However, those sacred infant fruits are very difficult to catch. They can fly to the sky and dive into the earth inside the divine mountain. Their speed of escaping is very fast. Being able to see them is already very good. Xiao Yingying obtained one, and also obtained the peculiar and formidable energy from the sacred infant fruit. This caused many people to be extremely envious. Yingying, take out your sacred infant fruit and let everyone broaden their horizons. A handsome man with 2 strokes of beard walked over and said with faint smile, "Big brother, can I not take it out? That little guagua is resting." "I don't want to disturb little guagua's rest," Xiao Yingying said in low voice. This big brother is called Xiao Jingyuan. He is a very strong 9th-stage Earth Immortal and also a venerable master. Young and powerful and also a venerable master. This is indeed very rare. Even the warriors from Sacred Desolate are very respectful towards Xiao Jingyuan. "It doesn't matter. Take it out for everyone to see," Xiao Jingyuan urged with smile. "Yingying, everyone is waiting for you here to see the sacred infant fruit." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei suddenly became somewhat angry. Xiao Qianqian said with somewhat angry voice, "Big brother, didn't you call Yingying over to let Heavenly Tiger Star's people treat her illness?" "This, of course," Xiao Jingyuan said with smile. "But Yingying's sacred infant fruit is something that everyone wants to see." At this time, a young man from Heavenly Tiger Star walked over and said with smile, "Miss Yingying, your illness is rather serious. We can cure it, but we need you to use the sacred infant fruit to exchange." I don't want to exchange." Even the innocent and kind-hearted Xiao Yingying is now very angry because she can see that Heavenly Tiger Star's people are swindling her. Xiao Yuanmei promptly walked over and pulled Xiao Yingying away. She said, "Sister Yingying, let's go. Don't pay attention to those guys. Disturbing little Guagua's sleep will weaken his energy. Don't believe their words." It is also because Xiao Yingying's current condition is very good that Xiao Yuanmei let her come out to see the treacherous side of some older brothers. Xiao Jingyuan saw that his sister is angry and promptly said in deep voice, "That little servant girl, what are you talking about? Since when did you have the right to speak here?" "Indeed, this is my Heavenly Tiger Star's territory. Servants like you shouldn't butt in," Heavenly Tiger Star's youth shouted in cold voice. She is my subordinate. She is talking to me. It has nothing to do with you." Although Xiao Yingying has been bedridden for many years, she has always been resisting the torment of her illness. She is also very strong. Now seeing Xiao Yuanmei being bullied, she promptly stood up. Heavenly Tiger Star's people said with sneer, "Miss Yingying, that little servant girl is indeed your subordinate, but this is my territory. My territory has a rule that servants are not allowed to speak. If she speaks, her tongue will be cut off. Otherwise, she can forget about leaving this place." Xiao Jingyuan yelled, "Yingying, don't be willful. Quickly take out your holy infant fruit for everyone to see." Big Brother also promised others to let them see the holy infant fruit. "I won't give it," Xiao Yingying very angrily shouted at Xiao Jingyuan. You are so hateful. I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. You hypocritical guy. I will never give you pastries again. Seventh sister, don't mess around. Quickly take out the holy infant fruit. That fifth young master Xiao Zhongjie also shouted, Fifth brother, you are also a hateful person. You are also very hypocritical. Last time I told you to give the box of pastries to third brother, you definitely did not give it to him. Xiao Yingying very angrily said. Yingying, ignore them. Sixth sister is here. Xiao Qianqian promptly pulled Xiao Yingying's small hand and said, Let's go. You are not allowed to leave. Heavenly Tiger Star's people teased. You can leave, but that little servant girl must stay. At this moment, a large group of people blocked Xiao Yingying and others' path. The children of other aristocratic families also joined in. They want to see the holy infant fruit, so they cannot let Xiao Yingying leave just like that. Enough, my grandfather loves Yingying very much. A man suddenly said, I am Yingying's second brother. Don't bully my little sister in front of me. Yingying's body is not good. You guys are making her angry. If grandfather finds out, he'll be very angry. The one who spoke is fourth brother. I say, you guys, what kind of man are you to bully a little girl? That third brother also stood up. Otherwise, there will be no pastries to eat in the future. Second brother, third brother, fourth brother, thank you all. Xiao Yingying said. Xiao Jingyuan said in cold voice. You guys don't make a fool of yourselves. Our Xiao family has the holy infant fruit. What's wrong with taking it out for everyone to see? I am the boss. Whatever I say, you have to do. Heavenly Tiger Star's man said with smile. Miss Yingying, if you take out the holy infant fruit for us to see, we won't cut that little girl's tongue. Xiao Yuemei has been suppressing her belly full of anger for a long time, but thinking that this is Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, she can only endure and not implicate Xiao Yingying. Xiao Yingying knows that Heavenly Tiger Star's people are very powerful. She is also hesitating whether or not she should take out the holy infant fruit. At this time, Qin Yin suddenly said, Sister Yingying's holy infant fruit just evolved. It became very special and mystical. She is not willing to take it out because she is afraid that everyone can't see it. Oh, there's such a thing? How come I don't know? Xiao Jingyuan said in amazement. If one's heart is not right, or if they have done bad things before, they will not be able to see that mystical holy infant fruit. I once secretly ate pastries, so I can't see Sister Yingying's holy infant fruit. Qin Yun sighed and said, My little follower only did one bad thing, and now she can't see the holy infant fruit. A3, I truly regret it. Xiao Yuemei promptly sent voice transmission to Xiao Yingying, telling her to pretend to take out the holy infant fruit. Xiao Yingying also did the same. She spread out her palm and said, This is my holy infant fruit. Can you see it? Actually, there is nothing on her palm. Such a cute little guagua. Xiao Qianqian's face is immediately filled with envy and intoxication. She sighed and said, I also want one. Chapter 1482. God of Space Xiao Yuemei lightly sighed and said, I also secretly ate cakes and did bad things. I also can't see cute little guagua anymore. The holy infant fruit was a baby the size of a fruit. It looked very cute, and according to legends, many holy infant fruits were similar. Xiao Qianqian smiled and said, Fortunately, I haven't done anything bad, so I can see it. By the way, this little guagua doesn't seem to have changed much. The holy infant fruit was a miraculous existence in everyone's hearts. Now that they knew that the holy infant fruit had such an ability, they were skeptical. Xiao Yingying looked at Xiao Jingyuan and the others and asked, Can you see? I really took little guagua out. Of course I can. Xiao Jingyuan didn't want others to say that he was a scheming person, so he smiled and said, Yingying, your little guagua is still the same as before. There hasn't been any change. I thought there would be a huge change after the evolution. It's just like the legends. It looks like a baby. The man from the Heavenly Tiger Star laughed out loud. But speaking of which, the holy infant fruit is really magical. It should be a fruit that can transform into a human. Look at that baby's nose and mouth. How exquisite. It's a little thing filled with spirit energy. In fact, Xiao Jingyuan and the man from Heavenly Tiger Planet could not see anything. However, they believed that the holy infant fruit was really in Xiao Yingying's hands. They deliberately said this to let others know that they were all upright people. Xiao Yuanmei and Qin Yun are secretly laughing in their hearts. They did not expect that someone like Xiao Jingyuan would jump in so quickly. At this time, there were also many people saying that they could see the holy infant fruit in Xiao Yingying's hand. He even kept on praising the holy infant fruit, describing how cute it was and how magical it was. Everyone present had more or less done some bad things. Now, they didn't see anything at all, but they didn't dare to say that they didn't see anything. Otherwise, they would be suspected of having bad intentions. Little Guogua is going to rest. Has everyone seen enough? Xiao Yingying asked. She continued to spread out her palm, pretending to caress the holy infant fruit. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Someone laughed. Miss Yingying, thank you so much. If not for you, we wouldn't even have the chance to see the holy infant fruit with our own eyes. Yeah, we saw the holy infant fruit today. In the future, we can brag about it when we return. A middle-aged man said with a smile. When Xiao Yingying saw how hypocritical the group of people in front of her was, she secretly despised them. At the same time, she admired Qin Yun's method. Of course, Xiao Qianqian knew that this was Qin Yun's idea. It was also because of her cooperation that many people believed it. Yingying, your little attendant actually stole pastries to eat. You have to be more careful in the future, Xiao Jingyuan said. These two little followers have bad intentions. If they can't see your holy infant fruit, I won't feel at ease leaving them by your side. Grandpa arranged for them to come, Xiao Yingying said with a smile. Who asked the pastries I made to be so delicious? That's why they couldn't help but eat one or two. Grandpa sent him. All right, then quickly go back and rest. Xiao Jingyuan said, just now, Big Brother was a bit impulsive. Please forgive me. Xiao Yingying nodded, then brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei with her and left with Xiao Qianqian. After Qin Yun and company left, Xiao Zhongjia walked over and asked Xiao Jingyuan in low voice, Big Brother, can you see the holy infant fruit? Nonsense, of course I can see it. Fifth brother, did you not see it and then pretended to see it? You have done so many wicked things. It would be strange if you could see it. Xiao Jingyuan said with smile. Big brother, I saw it very clearly just now. Don't talk nonsense. Xiao Zhongjia said in dissatisfaction. After Qin Yun and company left, the people here are still fervently discussing the holy infant fruit. Everyone said that they saw it and are seriously discussing the holy infant fruit. It is as if the holy infant fruit really exists. However, there is really nothing on Xiao Yingying's palm. Inside the large carriage, Xiao Yingying feels somewhat guilty and said in low voice, I am swindling people. Isn't this too bad? It's nothing. Those bastards deserve to be swindled. Looking at their stupid appearance, I almost laughed out loud. Xiao Yuanmei giggled and said, Sister Yingying, you should use this kind of method to deal with them. Look at them. They are so hypocritical. Especially Big Brother. He is actually so bad. Xiao Yingying lightly sighed and said, My body was not good before, so I never understood these things. Now I can clearly see their true colors. Ying, don't be sad, there's still me, sixth sister. Xiao Qianqian laughed, then looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, You little demon, you really have a way. You did not let Ying take out the holy infant fruit, yet you can get rid of those guys and even see a joke. In front of Xiao Yun, they are still tender. Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. Sometimes, even she has to concede defeat. After all, Qin Yun is immortal King Fu Yun. Even if he doesn't have the memories of his past life, his talent is still there. Qin Yun's expression is somewhat grave. He has not spoken a single word. Xiao Yuanmei nudged him and asked, Xiao Yun, what is it? I am worried that Heavenly Tiger Star's people will use force. You also saw it just now. Those guys said they want to cut off your tongue. Moreover, they want the holy infant fruit. Qin Yun said, They dare to attack. Our Xiao family? Just now, I wanted to fight them to the death. Xiao Qianqian said somewhat angrily. Qin Yun said, of course they dare. They might even bribe your scheming elder brothers. Would they really betray Ying? Xiao Qianqian is very clear that 2 or 3 of her elder brothers are very treacherous. If there are benefits, they will definitely do it. It must be known that Heavenly Tiger Star's people have many good things and materials. They are all very attractive things. If Heavenly Tiger Star's people give Xiao Jingyuan some benefits, he might really use despicable methods to force Xiao Yingying to hand over the holy infant fruit. I hope they won't act recklessly, Qin Yun said. If they really dare, I will take care of them. Xiao Yuanmei is a 9th stage Earth Immortal. Her small mirror is also very powerful. If they fight, most 9th stage Earth Immortals are not her match. After returning to the small building in the courtyard, just as they entered the hall, they saw a gray-clothed old man wearing a conical bamboo hat sitting on a chair, reading a book. This gray-clothed old man's face is waxy yellow. There are only a few wrinkles, but his expression is very stiff. His eyes are also somewhat unnatural. When he is flipping through the book, his movements are somewhat stiff, giving people a very strange feeling. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei can see with a glance that this old man is a puppet. There is a very strong energy source inside his body. He is a very strong puppet. Grandpa, why are you here? Xiao Yingying shouted in pleasant surprise and promptly ran inside. Grandpa, Xiao Qianqian also shouted. This old man is actually Xiao family's patriarch Xiao Hua. Although he is a puppet, there is a thread of Xiao Hua's soul inside. Yingying, I have never seen you so energetic. Are you all right? Xiao Hua is very pleasantly surprised to see Xiao Yingying's spirited appearance. Grandpa, it is Xiao Yun and Yuanmei's contribution. Grandpa, you sent them to my side. Xiao Yingying pointed at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei and said with smile, Grandpa, they are very awesome. Xiao Hua looked at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei. Because this is a puppet avatar, his eyes and expression are very unnatural, so he is currently expressionless. Xiao Hua only nodded at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei, then said to Xiao Yingying, this is my puppet avatar. I was worried about my little darling, so I came over. Grandpa, how strong is your puppet avatar? Xiao Qianqian asked. Not bad. Dealing with ordinary 9th-stage Earth Immortals is not a problem. Xiao Hua said with smile. Yingying, you and Six is to go outside to play. I have something to discuss with these 2 little friends. All right. At this time, Xiao Yingying also skipped outside. She hadn't been so lively for many years. Xiao Qianqian also went out with her little sister to accompany her to play. Sit, Xiao Hua said in a calm tone. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei are also very calm. They slowly sat down. What is your objective? Xiao Hua looked at Xiao Yuanmei and said, Yuanmei, when you first entered my Xiao family, I truly misjudged you. My full name is Xiao Yuanmei. I come from Guanghan Palace. Xiao Yuanmei no longer concealed her identity and continued. Xiao Yuelan is my big sister. Xiao Hua seems to be very astonished. He was silent for a moment and said, Our Xiao family and Guanghan Palace don't seem to have any deep hatred. Moreover, we even exchanged totem runes. And you are so close to Yingying, what is your objective? I admit, Yingying was indeed cured by you. She is not completely cured. Now she can only temporarily alleviate it. Qin Yun suddenly said, Oh, can you tell me about Yingying's situation? For more than 10 years, I have been trying to figure out what is going on. Xiao Hua said, You can make Yingying better. Make her so happy. I should be very grateful to you. I should not doubt you. You are very concerned about Sister Yingying. I know that. Old man Xiao, please rest assured, we will not harm Yingying. On the other hand, you have a few grandchildren who have designs on her sacred infant fruit. Xiao Yuanmei told Xiao Hua about the situation of the group of people from Heavenly Tiger Star. That guy Xiao Jingyuan, Xiao Hua very angrily said, If he really dares, I will cripple him right here. Soon after, Qin Yun also roughly explained Xiao Yingying's situation to Xiao Hua, causing Xiao Hua to exclaim in admiration. The reason why Ying is like this must be because you once placed her on that altar. Old man Xiao, what kind of altar is that? Qin asked. That is the god our Xiao family worships. It is called Space God. This is a very mysterious god. No matter how many sacrifices we make, he is indifferent to us, but sometimes he gives us some things. Xiao Hua said with frown. Could it be that Ying has been affected by Space God's power and her soul can enter other spaces? That's why she is being entangled by the evil power of other spaces? Space God? What did he give you? Xiao Yuanmei suddenly asked. Chapter 1483. Xiao family's secret news. When Qin Yun heard someone mention the heaven-leaping shuttle again, he felt alarmed in his heart. Previously, Devil Immortal Great Emperor and Immortal Desolate Great Emperor destroyed the core formation of the Devil Mirror in order to find the heaven-leaping shuttle. Yao Fang also said that she knows where the heaven-leaping shuttle is hidden and will look for it when she has time. Now, the Xiao family's patriarch said that the heaven-leaping shuttle belongs to the space god. Old man Xiao, did you find the heaven-leaping shuttle? Xiao Yuanmei asked. No, but I heard that the heaven-leaping shuttle is related to your Guanghan Palace. When I met the Devil Immortal Great Emperor and asked him about the heaven-leaping shuttle, this is what he said. Xiao Hua said, does your Guanghan Palace have any news regarding the heaven-leaping shuttle? I'm not too sure. I'll have to go back and ask the palace mistress and the others. Xiao Yuanmei said, Old man Xiao, don't believe the Devil Immortal Great Emperor's words too much. He has enmity with our Guanghan Palace. Xiao Hua nodded and said with smile, I know this. Qin Yun feels that Xiao Yuanmei might know about the heaven-leaping shuttle. How long can Ying maintain her current state? Xiao Hua looked at Xiao Ying, who is running around outside, and asked with chuckle. A few months should be no problem. After a few months, I will continue to help her maintain it. Qin Yun said, Little brother, what is your background? Xiao Hua suddenly became very curious about Qin Yun. You look so young, 12 or 13 years old, yet you are so capable. You are truly a genius. Old man Xiao, he is from the Inscription Gate. Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. The Inscription Gate is a very powerful sect in another star field. Xiao Huan nodded. So, it is a distant star civilization. Little brother, how can I make Ying completely recover? I don't know for now, but I will definitely do my best. Qin Yun said, Ying is a very pure and naive girl. Moreover, she is also very strong. I can't bear to see her tortured by this strange disease. Oh, then what kind of reward do you need? I will definitely give you whatever I can. Xiao Hua said, I am only a puppet avatar. My main body is still in the Xiao family of the Heavenly Province. I am a powerful immortal emperor, so I cannot enter this place. I can only attach a strand of my soul to the puppet body and enter the Scarlet Slaughter sacred city. Let's talk about it after I completely cure Ying. Qin Yun smiled and said, As for the reward, old man, you can give it according to your mood. I don't care about these things. Actually, he wanted Xiao Hua to think of a way to bring him into the Holy City's palace, so that he could quickly dismantle the sun altar. If he made such a request now, Xiao Hua would definitely be suspicious. It's Ying's good fortune to have met such good people like you. Xiao Hua sighed with emotion. All these years, I've been trying to find a way to cure her, and I've also been looking for people everywhere. But now, a little brother suddenly appeared out of nowhere to help her alleviate her illness. This is really too great. Old Xiao, this is also because Ying is too lovable, Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. When I saw her like that, I really wanted to take care of her. Xiao Hua smiled and nodded. That's true. This little girl is pure and kind, and the pastries she makes are very delicious. Qin Yun asked, Elder Xiao, you came to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City this time. Are you really just here to see Ying? I came here for two main reasons. One is to protect Ying, the other is to see the heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts that have appeared here. Xiao Hua's voice suddenly became grave. He said, Heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts have appeared near Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. I want to see what kind of inscription beasts they are. Qin Yun encountered very strong human transformation inscription beasts in Immortal Shin Great Desert before. They were so scared that they immediately ran away. He also heard that Immortal Shin Great Desert is now the world of beasts. Are heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts very strong? Xiao Yueme asked. Very, very strong. Especially in this kind of sacred land that restricts cultivation, there are invincible existences. Xiao Hua said. Now everyone thinks that the holy city's palace is guarding against Qin Yun. Actually, it is not. They are mainly guarding against heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme looked at each other in amazement. They really thought that they are guarding against him. Of course, we also need to guard against Qin Yun. This guy can destroy Great Desert Sacred City Sun altar. He is also a guy who is not afraid of heaven or earth. Xiao Hua chuckled. I wonder if this guy has arrived or not. Old Xiao, I heard that heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts can transform into human form. Have you seen such powerful inscription beasts before? Qin Yun said. I have never seen them. They can indeed transform into human form. Maybe they have already infiltrated the city. Xiao Hua took out a red compass and said with frown, this compass is used to detect inscription beasts. Although there is no reaction now, my intuition is telling me that those two formidable inscription beasts are in the city. Xiao Yueme shouted in alarm. Old Xiao, don't scare people. Xiao Hua very earnestly said, I am not scaring you. Those guys are growing very fast. They can avoid detection by tools. I guess they are planning to attack Sun Altar and occupy it. Xiao Yingying and Xiao Qianqian heard Xiao Yueme scream and promptly ran in to ask what happened. Xiao Hua told them about the situation and told them not to worry. Grandfather, big brother, and the others will be back very soon. Xiao Qianqian looked at Xiao Yueme and Qin Yun and said again, do you want to tell them about you coming here? No need for now. You must keep it a secret. Don't tell them that I am here. I want to see what kind of good things they will do. Xiao Hua said, there is a room upstairs. Grandfather, you can stay upstairs. Xiao Yingying very happily smiled and said, Grandfather, you want to teach me inscription? I want to learn. Yingying's illness has been cured. Grandfather can finally teach you. Xiao Hua said with smile. It can be seen that he is very fond of this little granddaughter of his. Grandfather, I will go make some pastries for you to eat. Yueme, sixth sister, do you want to come make some? Xiao Yingying asked. All right, Xiao Yueme said with smile. I can cook and eat at the same time. Soon after, Xiao Qianqian and Xiao Yueme followed them to a kitchen and began fiddling around. Old Xiao, I once heard a legend from my elders in a very low-level Great Desolate. Someone built a very mysterious, huge mausoleum. I heard that area is called Immortal Graveyard. Qin Yun suddenly asked, Oh, you come from a distant star, yet your elders know of this legend. How rare, Xiao Hua said. He also heard it from others. Qin Yun said with a smile. He also said that back then, many people from the Qi, Xiao, and Qin families participated in the construction. Xiao Hua nodded and said, That's right, we sent a lot of people to build that mysterious, huge mausoleum. The Devil Immortal Great Emperor and the Immortal Desolate Great Emperor also participated, but later on, many unforeseen events happened there, and most of the people we sent died. Just as Qin Yun had guessed, the three families at the edge of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range were indeed related to the three inscription families in the Immortal Desolate. What exactly is buried in that mysterious, huge mausoleum? A peerless devil? Qin Yun asked again. This matter is very complicated. At that time, I was not the patriarch, so I didn't know much. I only know that the daughter of the Immortal Desolate Great Emperor and MOG is buried inside. In addition, there are many powerful and evil things sealed inside. After so many years, they should all be dead, Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun looked outside and asked, Old Xiao, I heard that the people from the Sacred Desolate in the Scarlet Slaughter City are very respectful to your Xiao family. Is it because you can help them catch more inscription beasts? They want our Xiao family's secret technique. I admit that our Shao family is inferior to the Shiman family in terms of capturing inscription beasts, but we are better than the Qin and Qi families in this regard. The Shiman family is a very strange existence. In the early days, when others talked about the inscription family, they did not include the Shiman family. Only our three families are the orthodox inscription families. Speaking of the Shiman family, Xiao Hua could not help but shake his head and laugh. The people from Shiman family are very strange and also very strong. Sometimes I even suspect that they are not humans. Qin Yin had a deep feeling about this. The actions of a Shiman family were indeed somewhat strange. Xiao Hua stood up and walked to the door. He looked at the trees in the courtyard and said, "As far as I know, there are several powerful inscription beasts in the palace of the Holy City. They were all captured and tamed by those fellows from the Sacred Desolate. They must have paid a great price for this. So they have a request for your Shao family?" Qin Yun asked. "Indeed. Because the Shiman family is too lazy to care about them, they have no choice but to cooperate with our Shao family. I am considering whether or not I should cooperate with them." Xiao Hua said, "Please don't." Qin Yin promptly said, "Little brother, tell me the reason." Xiao Hua turned around and looked at Qin Yin. "I have been thinking about it. They are from the Sacred Desolate, and they are a group of very rude and unreasonable people. Now, they are colluding with Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Heavenly Tiger Star. These scoundrels, sooner or later, they will provoke the formidable Nether Sect. If your Shao family has any connection with Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, when the Nether Sect attacks Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, your Shao family will also be implicated." Xiao Hua said with frown, "Indeed, Nether Sect is very strong. The Netherworld Great Emperor has the sun-suppressing divine arrow. I heard that he even roped in the 9 Extinction Sect Master. Nether Sect is indeed a very strong and dreadful faction." Qin Yun said again, "Those scoundrels from the Heavenly Tiger Star look down on people from the Immortal Desolate. They're a group of bandits. The Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City colluded with these bandits, and their reputation is not good. If your Shao family doesn't want to ruin their reputation, it would be best if you don't get involved. Little brother, I suddenly feel that you should not be a little demon." Xiao Hua chuckled and said, "You came from faraway star. It seems like you're very clear about the situation here." "You may told me," Qin Yin said. Suddenly, several auras arrived. Qin Yin hastily got up and said in deep voice, "Xiao Jinyuan and those Heavenly Tiger Star people have arrived. Then I will leave." Xiao Hua promptly hid in a room. Chapter 1484. 1484, Chapter 1484, a truly powerful enemy. There were only 2 people who came, Xiao Jinyuan and a man from Heavenly Tiger Planet. The man from Heavenly Tiger Planet strode into the small hall. His entire body is filled with a ruffian aura. He arrogantly sat on a table and even placed his feet on a chair and shouted, "Little attendant, quickly pour some tea and pastries for this lord." Xiao Jinyuan asked, "Brat, where's Ying? Sister Ying is making pastries." Qin Yun said, "Quickly tell that little girl to come out. She is the master of this place. This lord is here, but she still hasn't come out. She's really arrogant." The young man said unhappily, "Doesn't she know who I, Zhuofengba, am?" Qin Yun is very calm, but in his heart, he is somewhat worried that Xiao Hua would suddenly rush out and kill Zhuofengba. Xiao Hua is hiding in a room. When he heard the voices outside, he is indeed extremely angry. However, he is very calm because he wants to see how Xiao Jinyuan will betray Xiao Yingying. Sister Yingying's body isn't good. She doesn't like to casually walk around. Also, she is very serious when making pastries in the kitchen and needs to be quiet, so she can't come out. Qin Yun replied with a smile, "I told you to help her shout out, so hurry up and go." "What nonsense are you spouting?" Xiao Jinyuan said angrily. "Don't think that just because Grandpa sent you here, you are superior. You are a servant. You will always be a servant. And I, Xiao Jinyuan, can be considered your master. If this was my territory, this brat's mouth would have already been torn apart by me. Zhuo Fengba's ferocious face is filled with malice. Qin Yin said, "Old man Xiao instructed me to only listen to Sister Yingying's words and not to listen to anyone else." Yo, so arrogant. Grandfather isn't here. Even if I teach you a lesson, he won't know. You better be tactful and don't let me beat you up. Xiao Jingyuan immediately became furious. He grabbed Qin Yun's collar and lifted him up. At this time, Xiao Yingying suddenly walked out and shouted, "Scoundrel, quickly release Xiao Yun." Xiao Jingyuan snorted and vigorously threw Qin Yun onto a chair far away, smashing it into pieces. Xiao Yingying rushed over with heartache and supported Qin Yun. Her small face is flushed with anger. She shouted angrily at Xiao Jingyuan, "Scoundrel, get out of my house. I don't welcome you." Then she pointed at Zhuo Fengba, who was sitting on the table, and shouted, "And you, hurry up and leave my house. You bullies, bad guys, get out of here." Xiao Yueme and Xiao Qianqian also came out. They're looking at Xiao Jingyuan and Zhuo Fengba with ice-cold expression. Zhuo Fengba laughed heartily and said, "Ha ha, you three little women and a brat dare to be arrogant in front of me. Zhuo Fengba, I can easily stab all of you to death with just one finger." Xiao Jingyuan said, "Yingying, take out your holy infant fruit. Brother Zhuo wants to buy it, and he's offering a very high price. I'm not selling, not even if I die." Xiao Yingying shouted angrily. Grandfather said that the holy infant fruit belongs to Yingying. If she doesn't sell it, no one can force her. Xiao Qianqian also said, "Big brother, you've gone too far." Zhuo Fengba laughed and said, "Your big brother has received benefits from me, so you have to sell it even if you don't want to. In any case, he promised us that he can capture you and bring you back. If you don't want to sell, just wait and see." Qin Yin very much wants to take action, but he feels that it is best to leave it to Xiao Hua. After all, he is the Xiao family's patriarch. If he takes action, even if the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City finds out, they won't be able to do anything. "Yingying, don't make things difficult for Big Brother. Quickly take out the holy infant fruit," Xiao Jingyuan said in deep voice. "If you don't hand it over, they will capture you." Zhuo Fengba rubbed his hands and said with evil grin, "Little girl, come back with me, ha ha. You three beautiful girls, come with me." Xiao Jingyuan, you bastard. Xiao Hua, who was behind the door, can no longer endure. He furiously rushed out. Xiao Jingyuan is extremely shocked. After he saw Xiao Hua's puppet avatar, he became even more apprehensive. "Ha!" Xiao Hua slapped Xiao Jingyuan and knocked him to the ground, causing his face to be covered with blood. "Old thing, you dare to attack?" Zhuo Fengba saw Xiao Hua, but he is not the least bit afraid. Xiao Hua coldly shouted, "Heavenly Tiger Star people are indeed a group of bandits. What did you say? You're courting death." Zhuo Fengba immediately flew into a rage. He rushed over and punched. Xiao Hua's movements are not very agile because this is only a puppet avatar. He was unable to dodge the punch. Boom! Xiao Hua's face was actually punched, and he fell to the ground. "So it's a puppet." Zhuo Fengba laughed sinisterly. "Your strength is not much, but you're so arrogant. Watch how I kill you." As he spoke, he took out a long black trident and charged at Xiao Hua. "Brother Zhuo, he is my grandfather's puppet avatar." Xiao Jingyuan hastily shouted, "We must get rid of this old fellow. Otherwise you and I will be in trouble." "Ha ha! So that's how it is, Xiao family patriarch's avatar puppet? If I can get rid of it, this is enough for me to brag for several years." Zhuo Fengba's expression became even more sinister. He laughed loudly and said, "He can't control the puppet avatar well. He's dead for sure." Xiao Hua's body was injured by Zhuo Fengba's punch just now. He now knows that the people of Heavenly Tiger Star still have some strength. Otherwise, an outer realm power that has been tyrannical in the immortal desolate for so long would have been killed long ago. "Grandfather," Xiao Yingying anxiously shouted. Just as she was about to rush over, she was stopped by Xiao Yueme. After Qin Yin was sent flying, he sat on the broken chair. He saw how weak Xiao Hua is and felt very surprised. He had no choice but to take action. He suddenly flashed over and grabbed the sharp trident. He poured in suffering divine ability power, and at the same time released a shockwave that shook Zhuo Fengba away. Zhuo Fengba's armor blocked the suffering divine ability power, but it was pushed away by the shockwave. Good fellow, you have some ability. I underestimated you. Zhuo Fengba looked at the young boy in shock. Without saying a word, Qin Yun released tree vines and wrapped around Zhuo Fengba. Then he flashed over and pointed 2 fingers at Zhuo Fengba's head. He used piercing heavenly fingers, void-breaking finger. The void-breaking finger can pierce through space and penetrate the energy barrier released by armor. A wave of energy that tore through space exploded. Qin Yun's powerful finger power pierced through space and struck Zhuo Fengba's head. Boom! A bowl-sized bloody hole appeared on Zhuo Fengba's head. His flesh and blood sprayed out from the barrier. Even with the protection of the energy barrier, his head was still pierced through. This caused Xiao Jingyuan's legs to tremble in fear. Xiao Qianqian is also dumbfounded. She originally thought that only Xiao Yuanmei was strong, and Qin Yun gave her the feeling that he is full of tricks. She did not expect him to be so formidable. Zhuo Fengba is a 9th stage Earth Immortal. His equipment is also very formidable. Yet he was killed by a young boy with bare hands. If this was spread out, no one would believe it. Xiao Jingyuan, whose legs have gone soft, flew out at full speed. Xiao Yuanmei raised her hand and released a strange wind that brought Xiao Jingyuan back. Qin Yun's tree vines also nimbly appeared and wrapped around Xiao Jingyuan. Grandpa, quickly save me. Ying, quickly plead for leniency. Don't let that little demon kill me. Seeing that we are brother and sister, please help me. Xiao Jingyuan cried out in fear. Qianqian, bring Ying into the house. Xiao Hua slowly stood up and said in cold voice. Xiao Ying was brought into the house by Xiao Yuanmei and Xiao Qianqian. Qin Yun's expression is calm as he looked at Xiao Jingyuan, whose face is filled with fear. Before, Xiao Jingyuan did not believe that this young boy was sent by his grandfather, but now he is convinced. His grandfather is an immortal emperor. The person he sent is definitely not simple. Xiao Jingyuan, you are really something. You actually want to kill Grandpa's puppet avatar. Do you want to kill me and then make Ying hand over the holy infant fruit so that you can complete the transaction and then run away? Xiao Hua said with sneer. In any case, the world extermination is coming soon. Big brother, Xiao must want to fish up even more things and then leave the immortal desolate. Maybe he even wants to join the heavenly tiger star and follow them to other star fields. Qin Yun said with smile, Big brother Xiao, am I right? You are bullshitting. Xiao Jingyuan shouted in fear. Grandpa, don't believe his nonsense. Believe me, I have no choice. You are my grandson, but you want to kill me. You even want to sell Ying and Qianqian. You want to deliver them into the hands of evil people. You are so vicious. Today I will clean up the family. Xiao Hua looked at Qin Yun and shouted, Little brother, help me get rid of him. Qin Yun's palm suddenly overflowed with a fierce and arrogant aura. Accompanied by the surging flames, the hall suddenly became incomparably hot. Old Xiao, please turn around, Qin Yun said. He knows that Xiao Hua can't bear to do it himself. That's why he asked him to do it. Xiao Hua closed his eyes, allowed a long sigh, and turned around. Xiao Jingyuan is extremely afraid. He never thought that the young boy his grandfather sent to protect Xiao Ying would be so terrifying. This kind of power is much more terrifying than the sacred desolate warriors. Boom! Qin Yun attacked with his palm and poured the flame into Xiao Jingyuan's body, burning him into ashes. Old Xiao, it's over. Qin Yun said, Don't be sad. You have so many grandchildren anyway. AI, to have such an unfilial son. I can't help but feel sad. Xiao Hua limped as he walked to a chair and sat down. His face had been punched, and it was sunken in. Xiao Yuanmei also came out. She very quickly took care of Zhuo Fengba and took away all the good things on his body. Little brother, you are truly ridiculously strong. Fortunately, there is you. Otherwise, Ying and Qianqian would be in big trouble. Xiao Hua also experienced Qin Yun's terrifying power earlier. He suddenly felt some doubt in his heart. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Hua's injured body and said, "Old Xiao, did you fight with the inscription beast on the way here? This puppet avatar is severely damaged. And otherwise I wouldn't be so weak." Xiao Hua nodded and asked, "Little brother, are you surnamed Qin?" Xiao Hua suspects that the little demon in front of him is most likely Qin Yun, because only Qin Yun has such terrifying power. "Old Xiao, I will help you up and help you repair this puppet avatar." Qin Yun did not reply. Instead, he helped Xiao Hua up the stairs and arrived at a room on the second floor. "Qin Yun, if you want to destroy the sun altar, you must be careful. The powerful enemies you're facing are not those sacred desolate people, but sun-rune beasts and heavenly rune beasts." Xiao Hua is certain that the young boy in front of him is Qin Yun. "Can you bring me into the sacred city's palace?" Qin Yun said with a smile. Chapter 1485. Inscription World. Qin Yun inspected Xiao Hua's puppet body and said with a smile, "I've already become like this, yet you can still recognize me. If you didn't display such formidable strength, I wouldn't have been able to recognize you. I really thought that you came from outside the distant star because, according to the rumors, you are very tall." Xiao Hua asked curiously, "Are you also using a puppet now?" Xiao Hua knew that Qin Yun is a very strong inscription master. Rumor has it that he is a mysterious inscription sect, so it is normal for him to have a puppet avatar. Qin Yun is currently in the appearance of a youth. Xiao Hua did not know that Xiao Yuanmei used a transformation technique, so he thought that Qin Yun also used a puppet avatar. "No, this is my main body," Qin Yun said, and took out the floating cloud divine needle. Xiao Hua is somewhat surprised and said in astonishment, "Main body? You have always looked like a youth? That's impossible. Many people from my Xiao family have seen you before. According to their descriptions, you are not a youth." Qin Yun said with a smile, "I used some secret technique. That's why I became so small. So that's how it is." Xiao Hua nodded and said with a smile, "Can you repair my puppet avatar? There should be no problem. The main thing is that many of the runes are damaged. I'll help you repair them." Qin Yun injected blood soul power into the floating cloud divine needle and began repairing it. Xiao Hua said, "On the way here, I fought with some powerful inscription beasts, causing me to suffer serious damage. My body is not flexible enough, so I can't repair the runes myself. I'll help you repair the runes on your arm and shoulder. You should be able to solve the rest yourself, right?" Qin Yun asked. "Sure. When you need to repair the dark lines, I will guide you." Xiao Hua also wanted his puppet avatar to recover so that it could become stronger. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sent flying with a single punch just now. The runes of the puppet avatar are carved inside and cannot be seen directly. However, Qin Yun can see them using the Extinction Spirit Eye. This made Xiao Hua feel that it is inconceivable, because generally speaking, only the inscription master who refined the puppet knows where the runes inside the puppet body are and can accurately sense them. The blood soul power that sprayed out from the tip of the floating cloud divine needle is very fine. It is as fine as silk. It penetrated the hard material of the puppet body and entered the interior to connect the broken runes. The runes on the puppet's body were mainly totem runes. Qin Yun has mastered totem inscription spirit, so he can repair totem runes with ease. Xiao Hua felt that those inscriptions were quickly and accurately being repaired. He said in shock, "If it wasn't for your low cultivation, I would have thought that you were an old inscription master who had lived for tens of thousands of years. With your cultivation, it's truly inconceivable that you have such a high level of attainment in inscription. Old Xiao, are you the strongest inscription master in the Xiao family?" Qin Yun asked. "Of course not. Don't think that I'm very powerful just because I'm the patriarch. Although I'm an immortal emperor, I'm mainly responsible for managing some miscellaneous matters, arranging the transfer of the Xiao family's personnel, and so on. Our Xiao family's powerful inscription masters don't have the time to be the patriarch. They spend all day studying inscription." Xiao Hua laughed self-deprecatingly. My level of inscription is only at the lower middle level in the Xiao family. Old Xiao, don't be modest. Qinyan shook his head and smiled. Speaking of which, I'm ashamed. My cultivation is so much higher than yours, but my level of inscription is only slightly better than yours. Xiao Hua said, according to the rules of the inscription world, based on the level of inscription, you and I should be of the same generation. The rules of the inscription world? Qinyan had heard Shimin Taigon mention it before. It's our inscription master's circle. In many cases, the Shimin family seniority is arranged according to this rule. Xiao Hua said. Qinyan suddenly understood why Shimin Dazhuang called him uncle. The higher one's level of inscription, the older one, was in the eyes of the Shimin family. Little brother, you probably haven't come into contact with the inscription world of the immortal desolate, right? Xiao Hua asked. No. Qinyan shook his head. There's an inscription world in the immortal desolate. It existed a few years ago. It's an independent space created by many powerful inscription masters over the years. Even if the 9 suns destroy the world, the inscription world still exists. I heard that there are also such inscription worlds in the divine desolate and sacred desolate. Xiao Hua chuckled and said, when there's a chance, I'll recommend you to join them. There really is an inscription world? Qinyan suddenly felt very surprised because no one had ever mentioned it to him. It's a very mysterious inscription world. Although there are some legends related to it, those who don't have any connections simply don't know how to obtain the qualifications to enter. Xiao Hua said, I was lucky. Back then, under the recommendation of my elders, I obtained the qualifications to enter. How many people from your hidden inscription family can enter? Qinyan suddenly became very curious. 20 to 30 people from each side can enter. This is also the strength of our inscription family. We have many secrets that we heard from the inscription world. For example, matters related to inscription beasts. Xiao Hua said, can Shimin Taigon also enter? Qinyan asked curiously. I don't know about him. In any case, I've never met this guy inside. Xiao Hua shook his head. He also knew that Qinyan's relationship with the Shimin family was very good. He even married Shimin Chu Qian as his concubine. Qinyan also wanted to enter the inscription world and learn how to use inscriptions. Suddenly, a noisy sound came from downstairs. Someone's coming. Qinyan said, we killed that guy from the Heavenly Tiger planet. They should have discovered something. We'll just refuse to admit it. Xiao Hua had also recovered a bit and was able to walk more nimbly. He walked out of the room and said, let's go down and see who's coming. Xiao Hua's puppet avatar is also quite powerful. His face was previously caved in, but now it has recovered by itself. Qinyan followed Xiao Hua to the small hall downstairs and saw Xiao Qianqian greeting a few youths. Those youths are Xiao Hua's other grandchildren. When they saw Xiao Hua, they all stood up in shock and bowed respectfully. Why are all of you here? You clearly know that Yingying's body isn't good, yet you still come to disturb her all day. Xiao Hua coldly snorted and said, I heard that you often let Yingying make pastries for you to eat. Her body isn't good, but for the sake of pastries, you let her overwork herself. The youths were so frightened that they immediately bowed and admitted their wrongs. They didn't dare to quibble. Grandfather, we know our wrongs. We won't dare to do it again. Xiao Zhongjie said in a low voice. You guys don't want to eat pastries, but to give them to people to expand your network, right? Xiao Hua sat down and angrily slammed the table. He shouted, Yingying made so many pastries for you, what about you? Don't you know how to repay her? A bunch of selfish fellows. Seeing how angry Xiao Hua was, the youths immediately knelt down and admitted their wrongs. They never expected that their grandfather would actually get a puppet avatar. They had indeed taken Xiao Yingying's pastries to give to others, and they had never thought of repaying Xiao Yingying. Grandfather, why are you here? Why didn't you inform us? Xiao Zhongjie said in a low voice. Where's Big Brother? He seems to have come back very early. I wonder where he died. This guy actually forced Yingying to take out the holy infant fruit for others to see. Fortunately, Xiao Yun came up with a brilliant plan. Xiao Hua said with sneer, You bunch of idiots, back then you all thought that Yingying really took out the holy infant fruit, right? When Xiao Zhongjie and the others saw the young boy following beside Xiao Hua, they became even more convinced that this young boy was sent by their grandfather to protect Xiao Yingying. The youth's faces immediately turned red. They really thought that only people with bad intentions would not be able to see the holy infant fruit. It turns out that Xiao Yingying did not take it out at all. I fought a very strong inscription beast on the way here, so my puppet avatar was also injured. There are some things that I can't do. You guys should listen to my arrangements now. Xiao Hua said. All of you get up. The youths immediately got up and nodded. You guys go and contact the city master of the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City first. Tell him that my puppet avatar is here. Xiao Hua said. Ask the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City if they are willing to discuss cooperation with me. Xiao Zhongjie asked. Grandfather, among the few of us, who is more suitable to go? Let's go together. Xiao Hua said. Then tell them that I just returned from the inscription world. I heard some news about inscription beasts there and asked them if they are interested. The youths nodded their heads repeatedly. Xiao Hua thought for a moment and said, You guys must be careful in the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. Don't think that this place is very safe. Let me tell you, there are 2 powerful inscription beasts in human form inside the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. They are ready to attack the palace at any time. The third brother screamed in fright. Grandfather, is this true? Then why didn't the people from the palace tell us? Aren't they trying to kill us? Because even they don't know. However, they definitely know that there are inscription beasts in human form that want to attack the altar. The barrier they set up is not to defend against Qin Yun, but to defend against the 2 inscription beasts. Xiao Hua said with certainty. So you guys must leave the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City as soon as possible. Grandfather, we will help you contact the city master and then immediately leave the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. Xiao Zhongjie hastily said, In case we implicate Grandfather and make him worry. The third brother asked, If we can enter the palace, won't we not need to run? Do you really think that the palace can defend against inscription beasts in human form? Xiao Hua said, You guys should just obediently leave the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. The youths hastily walked out and helped Xiao Hua contact the city master inside the palace. Xiao Hua said to Qin Yun, Continue to help me repair ruins. I want to recover as soon as possible and then leave with Yingying. All right, Qin Yun nodded. Xiao Hua is now very worried that the inscription beasts in human form would suddenly move and carry out a massacre. If they were to be targeted, it would be very troublesome. Chapter 1486. Divine Wilderness Puppet Qin Yun and Xiao Hua went upstairs to continue repairing the puppet avatar. After half a day, Xiao Hua's arms were completely repaired by Qin Yun. Xiao Hua could take care of the rest by himself. He told Qin Yun to rest and recuperate as he prepared to enter the palace in the Holy City with him. Xiao Hua wanted to repay Qin Yun, so he thought of a way to bring Qin Yun into the villa in the middle. He originally wanted to persuade Qin Yun to give up, but after chatting with Qin Yun, he could sense Qin Yun's determination to attack Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, so he dispelled the thought of persuading him. Xiao Hua naturally hoped that Qin Yun would be safe and sound, because in the future, he would still need Qin Yun to cure Xiao Yingying. Not long after Qin Yun returned to his room, Xiao Yuanmei came back with many delicious pastries and all kinds of snacks. Because they were mixed with the sacred infant fruit's energy, after eating the pastries, Qin Yun became very spirited and didn't need to rest. At night, Qin Yun looked at the stars in the sky and thought to himself, I wonder how Sister Star God is doing. I hope nothing happens to her. Heavenly Tiger Star's people attacked Heavenly Wind God Mountain and were killed by Yao Fong. Qin Yun collected a large amount of dead spirit power, which can be used as death sacrifice. Qin Yun felt that the sacrificial power might be able to make his mind break through and become stronger. After gazing at the starry sky for a while, he returned to his room and took out the golden horn. Evil God, Qin Yun shouted. Little ancestor, what is the matter? Evil God replied right away. Have you heard of the spatial god? Qin Yun wanted to know more about the spatial god. This was because the god of space was also searching for the heaven-leaping shuttle. It was a shuttle that could traverse through space. Qin Yun was worried that the god of space would take it back in the future. Of course, I've heard of him. He's a very awesome god. Evil God said, the reason why we can send things to the lower realms in the divine desolate is because of a set of rules he created. Many of our altars have runes provided by him. So awesome, Qin Yun said in shock. That's right. In short, he rarely shows his face. Even if he passed on his divine position, we might not know. The evil god said, this kind of powerful god rarely shows his face. Qin Yun also had a certain understanding of the god of space. It was actually an existence that ruled over the laws of space in the divine wilderness. Evil god, have you heard of the heaven-leaping shuttle? Asked Qin Yun. What? You found the heaven-leaping shuttle? The evil god shouted in shock. No, I just heard that the god of space is looking for you. I know people who worship the space god. They are in the immortal desolate. So I want to ask you, what is this heaven-leaping shuttle? Qin Yun said. At this time, Xiao Yuanmei suddenly arrived and lightly yelled, evil god, I am Yuanmei. Big sister Yuanmei, hello. Evil god's voice came out. Xiao Yuanmei knows that Qin Yun is asking about the heaven-leaping shuttle. She lied down beside the large golden devil horn and asked, evil god, do you know what the heaven-leaping shuttle means in immortal desolate? The sky-leaping shuttle can easily cross many spaces. This is a super powerful divine weapon that can break through the spatial barrier of the 9 wastelands. However, you don't have enough divine power in the immortal desolate, so you won't be able to unleash the true power of the heaven-leaping shuttle. It will be very difficult to break through the spatial barrier. After the evil god finished speaking, he chuckled a few times and said, however, if it works with the altar, it can teleport even more things. Qin Yun asked, evil god, do you have any news regarding Star God? Yes. Star God has always been chased by the Dao Yang divine sect. I have to say, this Star God woman is truly dreadful. She killed many people from the Dao Yang divine sect along the way. The Dao Yang divine sect has already issued a warrant for her arrest. Many great powers of the divine desolate have sent out powerful squads to capture Star God. The situation is so serious. Xiao Yuanmei said with frown. Sister Star God is in trouble this time. Don't worry, this is not the first time Star God is being chased like this. She is constantly being chased. She must have experience in escaping. Evil God said, evil God, we are preparing to destroy an altar. Tell me, won't this cause even more trouble for Sister Star God? Xiao Yuanmei asked. 2 little ancestors, are you serious? Evil God cried out in alarm in low voice. Several 9 sun sects are chasing after Star God. Even if you destroy another altar, her situation will be the same. It won't be any worse. Evil God is very afraid of trouble. He didn't dare to contact Qin Yun for too long and hastily cut off the communication. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuanmei, caressed her face, and asked, Yuanmei, how much do you know about the heaven-leaping shuttle? I only know that my past life used it to control it. It is a very powerful divine tool. You used to use it to help me escape. Xiao Yuanmei lightly sighed and said, later it was damaged and you hid it. You said that you would let the heaven-leaping shuttle absorb immortal power to repair itself. Yuanmei, I mentioned Yao Fong to you before. Do you still remember? Qin Yun asked. Xiao Yuanmei nodded. I know who she is. She is your master. Qin Yun told Xiao Yuanmei about Yao Fong. Xiao Yuanmei earnestly listened. Her expression is constantly changing. After she finished listening, she faintly sighed. Her original name is Fong Yue Yao. Although she is my master, I have always regarded her as my big sister. Her relationship with Sister Kiru is very good. Xiao Yuanmei said, it's good that she is fine. As long as she is alive, I will definitely see her again in the future. Is Sister Yao Fong's relationship with me very good? Qin Yun suddenly asked. I'm not too clear. In short, it was because of you that she went missing. We all thought that she was killed by you. Xiao Yuanmei said. That's why me and Big Sister chased you for a period of time. Later on you saved us sisters, and we didn't hate you anymore. Qin Yun now knows many things. The heaven-leaping shuttle is very awesome, but unfortunately it was damaged. I hope Sister Yao Fong can find the heaven-leaping shuttle, Qin Yun said. The heaven-leaping shuttle was damaged by those two great emperors. Back then you brought me and Big Sister to escape. It was also because the heaven-leaping shuttle is very awesome that we managed to escape. If I am not wrong, you and I joined hands to swindle them of something. They became very angry and chased us. Xiao Yuemei said, "What did you swindle from them?" Qin Yun very curiously asked. "I don't know. I put it in a storage bag. It should be inside the shuttle. You didn't take it out at that time. You said you would come back later to get it," Xiao Yuemei said. Qin Yun suddenly feels that the reason why Immortal Desolate Great Emperor and Devil Immortal Great Emperor are so anxious to find the heaven-leaping shuttle is most likely because they want to retrieve that mysterious thing. "Brother, why haven't you recovered your memories?" Xiao Yuemei asked. A3. "I don't know." Qin Yun shook his head. "Don't worry. Even if you recover your memories, Sister Bingxing and Aunt won't do anything to you," Xiao Yuemei said with a smile. "They should have figured out some things by now. They should know that you did it for their own good back then." Qin Yun nodded. "I will try my best to recover my memories." "All right, I will go accompany Sister Ying to sleep," Xiao Yuemei said with a sweet smile, then skipped out of the room. Qin Yun is lying on the bed. His eyes are wide open. His mind is in chaos. "Xiao Yun, I think you should listen to your past life's advice. Don't be in a hurry to recover your memories." Ling Yuner said, "Your past life told you that it is best to recover your memories after becoming a god. Let nature take its course." After Qin Yun thought it through, he closed his eyes. Daybreak, Qin Yun arrived at the small living room on the first floor. He saw Xiao Yuemei holding a few pastries in her hands. She is wolfing them down. Xiao Hua, on the other hand, watched with a smile on his face. He had also repaired his own puppet clone. "Those few brats came just now. They said that City Master invited me to enter Holy City's palace." Xiao Hua saw Qin Yun come down and said, "I plan to bring you in." Xiao Yuemei also wants to go, but she knows that there are powerful inscription beasts in the city, so she decided to stay. If something unexpected happens, she can protect Xiao Ying. "All right," Qin Yun nodded and said, "Then let's go now." Xiao Hua is wearing a gray robe. He did not disguise himself because this is only a puppet avatar. Qin Yun is wearing clean and tidy white clothes. He followed Xiao Hua and boarded a carriage. This carriage was sent by Holy City's palace. Xiao Qianqian and Xiao Ying are eating pastries. They don't know that the youth is Qin Yun. They think that he is their grandfather's attendant. And Xiao Yuemei is deeply worried. She is somewhat worried about Qin Yun. Because Qin Yun wants to sneak into that large villa, he wants to approach the sun altar. If he attacks the sun altar from inside, it will surely lead to a fierce battle. Inside the carriage, Xiao Hua took out a few small flags, controlled them to float at the four corners of the carriage, and set up a sound insulation barrier. "Little brother, are you going to attack immediately after you go in?" Xiao Hua asked. "I don't know. I'll see how it goes." Qin Yun shook his head. "If those guys are too strong, I can only make a new plan. The Scarlet Slaughter Holy City has made ample preparations this time. As far as I know, they have a few puppet avatars from the Divine Wasteland. Those are all refined from God-level materials. Even if you control a powerful divine weapon, you might not be able to break through those powerful puppet avatars." Xiao Hua said, "Old Xiao, how much do you know about the situation inside?" Qin Yun asked. "I only know that there are very strong, divine, desolate puppets inside. Those puppets' cultivation shouldn't be able to surpass 9th layer Earth Immortal. Otherwise, they would be teleported outside by the Scarlet Slaughter Swamp's mysterious power. The most formidable part is the refining materials on their bodies." Xiao Hua very enviously sighed and said again, "If only my puppet avatars were refined with divine tier materials." Qin Yun said again, "If that is the case, they should be able to take down Sun Rune Beasts and Heavenly Rune Beasts, right?" Xiao Hua nodded and said, "The guy controlling the Divine Desolate puppets might be Divine Desolate's god. If he also has a divine tool, it would be even more dreadful. It seems like it will be even more difficult for me to attack this sun altar. Qin Yun's expression became grave. Little brother, as long as you know your limits. You must know when to retreat. If the opponent is really strong, you must not be too strong. Act according to your own strength. Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun nodded and said, I understand. The carriage arrived at the entrance of a large villa. There's a large plaza here. After arriving, Qin Yun and Xiao Hua discovered that the atmosphere here is not right. They promptly walked out of the carriage and saw two handsome men standing on the spacious plaza. Chapter 1487. 1487 Chapter 1487 Black Rat by Xiao Hua cursed in his heart. These two inscription beasts just had to appear here at this time. If they were a bit later, he would have been able to smoothly bring Qin Yun into the villa and enter the palace of the holy city. Now that these two inscription beasts have appeared, the villa will definitely guard it to the death. It will be even more difficult to enter. Qin Yun looked at the door in front of him. It was indeed tightly shut. With a glance, he could tell that these two inscription beasts had alarmed the people in the villa. Just a bit more. Qin Yun also felt that it was a pity. As long as he could enter the villa, he could hide inside and find an opportunity to make his move. And now, the two inscription beasts suddenly appeared here. The villa would definitely not open its doors. The two inscription beasts that have transformed into humans are tall and handsome. It is unknown if they created their own appearance. The slightly taller man has a slightly long face, a pair of thick eyebrows, a pair of deep eyes, and a mustache that added a bit of charm to him. He is wearing very ordinary black clothes. It is impossible to tell that he is an inscription beast. As for the other man, his eyes under his elegant sword-like eyebrows carried a playful smile. His fair and handsome face was brimming with a gentle smile. His white clothes were luxurious, but not tacky, giving off a cynical feeling. The auras of these two men are very strong, but it is impossible to tell that they are inscription beasts. Qin Yun's perception is very strong, but he is unable to see anything, because these two inscription beasts have the same aura as humans. The difference is that they each have a strange charm. The handsome white-clothed man looked at Xiao Hua and asked, You are not human, right? This is a puppet avatar. The soul inside is a human soul. Xiao Hua calmed down and said indifferently. The handsome white-clothed man looked at the black-clothed man with a mustache and asked, Interesting. Tell me, in this state, is he considered a human? Sort of. He has a human soul. The black-clothed man laughed. He looked at Xiao Hua and said, You don't have to be afraid of us. We are not as savage as you think. I am Xiao Hua, from one of the inscription families, the Xiao family. I am the patriarch of the Xiao family. At this moment, Xiao Hua could also tell that these two inscription beasts did not have any intention of fighting. I am He Shu. The black-clothed man stroked his beard and said with a smile, My original form is a black rat. I am Bai Zhe. The handsome man in white smiled. Xiao Hua was a little surprised. The legendary divine beast Bai Zhe? Bai Zhe smiled and nodded. Qin Yun is also very astonished. A divine beast like Bai Zhe is actually an inscription beast. He Shu laughed self-deprecatingly. I'm just a black rat. I don't have a noble identity like Bai Zhe. Brother Shu, don't be so modest. If we were to fight, I might not be your match. Bai Zhe laughed and said, You always pretend to be weak in front of me. Xiao Hua suppressed the shock in his heart and asked, The two of you, what is your purpose for coming here? Is this Crimson Massacre City your target? He Shu replied, I just want to take a look at the sun altar. I have no other intentions. Bai Zhe nodded and said, Don't tell me that you think we want to destroy that altar. If we really had that kind of intention, we would have already attacked, and this city would have already been destroyed. Of course, we can't attack it. He Shu looked at the barrier and said, The barrier of that villa is very strong. We won't be able to attack it in a short period of time. Bai Zhe said with a smile, If we attack for a long period of time, that won't be a problem. Xiao Hua now felt a lot more relieved, because he can see that these two formidable inscription beasts are indeed not very savage. Otherwise, with their strength, they would definitely be able to slaughter this Crimson Massacre City. Qin Yin has not spoken since the beginning. He also discovered that He Shu and Bai Zhe are not paying attention to him. Clearly, they did not discover that he is very strong. This made him feel a lot more relieved. "Why do you want to take a look at the sun altar?" Xiao Hua asked again. "If the two of you really want to take a look, I can help you." Bai Zhe said, "Of course we really want to take a look at the sun altar. There are many runes on it. We want to take a look and study them." He Shu said with smile, "Old Xiao, you said you come from an inscription family. Then you must be an inscription master, right?" "We are also inscription masters. We can carve runes." Qin Yun and Xiao Hua are very amazed. He Shu and Bai Zhe are heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts. If they can carve runes, then they must be very strong. Don't think that only humans can control runes. We can also use runes to perfection. Bai Zhe proudly smiled. "Do you want to compete with us?" It is very rare for the two of them to meet a relatively strong human, moreover an inscription master, so they are very excited. Let's not compete for now. I will go communicate with the holy city's city lord," Xiao Hua said with smile. "Wait for me here." Xiao Hua walked towards the door. He did not let Qin Yin follow him. Qin Yin has been standing there. He is now also looking at the direction of the door. "Little brother, who are you to old Xiao?" He Shu suddenly asked. "Little follower," Qin Yin said with smile. "Oh, a servant?" Bai Zhe looked at Qin Yin and asked. Qin Yin did not expect that his concealment would be so good. These two formidable inscription beasts are actually unable to see through his body. He Shu said in low voice, "Little brother, how is old Zhao's inscription level?" Qin Yin thought for a moment and replied, "Inscription mysterious sex level. I don't know the specifics." Bai Zhe said with smile, "Inscription mysterious sect should be able to carve 12th level finesse. Very good. Little brother, did you learn anything from him? Do you understand inscription?" "I understand a bit." Qin Yin nodded. "I think you are very pleasing to the eye. Do you want to learn inscription from me?" Bai Zhe looked at Qin Yin and said with mischievous smile, "Take me as your master. I am very strong. I can bring you to run amok in this scarlet slaughter swamp." "Thank you, big brother, for your good intentions. No need." Qin Yin promptly declined. He is very shocked in his heart. This Bai Zhe actually wants to take him as a disciple. He Shu said with smile, "Little brother, you should follow me. I have mastered heavenly rune. It is much more powerful than Bai Zhe's sun rune." Qin Yin suddenly hesitated. This He Shu is actually a heavenly rune beast. He previously thought that Bai Zhe is a heavenly rune beast. "Don't hesitate. Old Xiao will definitely agree," He Shu proudly said with smile. "Brother Shu, it was me who took a fancy to this little brother first." Bai Zhe laughed. "What you are doing is not very sincere." He Shu laughed loudly. "Let's see who little brother chooses." Qin Yin actually wants to follow He Shu and learn his heavenly rune first. However, thinking that he still has many things to do, he can only refuse. Not long after, Xiao Hua arrived. "You too? Scarlet Slaughter Holy City's city master Yin Yun is willing to sign soul contract with you. As long as you promise not to attack Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, not to attack Sun Altar, not to cause any destruction in Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, it will be fine. If you are willing, follow me and sign soul contract with them." Xiao Hua said. "All right." He Shu nodded. "All right." Bai Zhe also agreed and nodded. Soon after, Qin Yin followed Xiao Hua and Bai Zhe towards the large door. Qin Yin is now very nervous. He is worried that he won't be able to enter. This is his only chance. Before, he was worried about He Shu and Bai Zhe, these two formidable inscription beasts. But now they don't need to worry anymore, because these two guys won't attack Sun Altar. Xiao Hua is also the same. He is completely relieved. He doesn't need to worry about a great battle between inscription beasts. There are such gentle inscription beasts in human form. This caused Xiao Hua to be very surprised. Of course, many divine mountains in Immortal Desolate are occupied by formidable inscription beasts. Many inscription beasts allow humans to enter those divine mountains. Some inscription beasts are very willing to coexist peacefully with humans. After He Shu and Bai Zhe signed the soul contract, people inside the great villa let out a sigh of relief. Qin Yin finally followed Xiao Hua and smoothly entered the great villa. Moreover, he can see the huge sun altar from a close distance. When signing the soul contract, He Shu and Bai Zhe raise their conditions. They want the city master to guarantee that they won't be besieged after entering. Scarlet Slaughter Holy City's city master He Yin is a middle-aged man. He has a square face. He looks very righteous. However, Qin Yin feels that this city master is not a good person. Previously, Scarlet Slaughter Holy City injured Luo Dongchuan. It must be this city master's idea. He Yin manages this sun altar. He can communicate with Sacred Desolate. Sacred Desolate wants to capture Qin Yin. They must have promised He Yin a lot of rewards. In order to capture Qin Yin, He Yin will surely use any means fair or foul. After entering the great villa, Qin Yin followed Xiao Hua and walked towards a very large palace. He Yin said with smile, "You two are formidable heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts. To be able to communicate with you is our honor." He Shu said, "We wanted to communicate with you for a long time, but you have always been guarding against us." Bai Zhe said with smile, "Do we look very fierce?" No, we're not guarding against you. We are guarding against that Qin Yin." He Yin shook his head and said with sigh, "You don't know, some people are much more savage than inscription beasts. That Qin Yin is one of them. That guy is a villain. He killed many of our people. Moreover, he wants to tear down our altar." He Shu said with smile, "Qin Yin? We heard about him. A friend of mine in Immortal Xin Great Desert mentioned Qin Yin. He said that he destroyed the sun altar there and killed many people from Great Desert Holy City. Isn't that so? That's why we are guarding against that guy." He Yin said with smile, "You too. If you stay here for a period of time, you might be able to meet Qin Yin. If you want to fight with humans, you can go deal with that guy." "No, we don't want to fight. What's more, Qin Yin is very powerful. We don't want to fight with him. We might be killed." Bai Zhe said with smile. He Shu and Bai Zhe are not stupid. They know that He Yin wants them to deal with Qin Yin. All the inscription beasts in Immortal Desolate that can transform into human have more or less heard about Qin Yin, because it was Qin Yin who destroyed Great Desert Holy City's altar. Chapter 1488. Heavenly Rune Talisman Chapter 1488. Heavenly Rune Talisman Xiao Hua and Qin Yin are calmly listening to him. Xiao Hua feels that it is somewhat funny because Qin Yin is right behind him. He is that harmless-looking little youth. Before figuring out the situation inside, Qin Yin would not make a move. Those divine desolate puppets are definitely very strong. If there were a few of them, it would be very strenuous for Qin Yin. This attack on Sun Altar is not like before. There are not that many people helping. Back in Great Desert Sacred City, Xiao Yuelon, Sun Fairy Yu Shaoling, Shiman Chuqian, and Old Fox Wang were all very strong. Furthermore, Great Desert Sacred City did not make sufficient preparations and underestimated Qin Yin's strength. They were unable to defend. And now Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is very well prepared. Now they don't need to deal with the inscription beasts. They can focus on dealing with Qin Yin. One must know that as long as they capture or kill Qin Yin, they will be able to obtain a great reward from Dao Yan Divine Sect. Entering the main hall, inside the spacious hall, there are many powerful 9th stage Earth Immortals. Most of them are middle-aged and young. Although there are some old people, there are not many of them. After Xiao Hua came in, other people immediately came over to greet Xiao Hua and then greeted Bai Zhe. Many people were very interested in the Black Mouse Bai Zhe. After all, they were two powerful inscription beasts. Even though Bai Zhe signed a soul contract, the people here are more or less worried. Now they also discovered that after the two inscription beasts turned into humans, they truly look like humans. It is hard to tell them apart. And what made them most apprehensive is that the strength of these two inscription beasts is unfathomable. They are much stronger than they imagined. Bai Zhe looks very modest, but from time to time, they release their aura to intimidate the people here. Otherwise, The people here would have other thoughts about them. The Sun Altar descended to capture inscription beasts, collect all kinds of runes with special abilities, and then send them back to the Divine Desolate. Baizé is very clear about this point, so they're very vigilant now. Shao Family Master, didn't you say that you want to discuss cooperation with us? Let's talk here. He Inyun said with smile. We are all friends here. It doesn't matter. Cooperation is a rather private matter. Let's talk about it in private. Xiaohua said. He could see that there were some people here who were filled with hostility towards him. In particular, the people of the Heavenly Tiger Planet and the Qi family, as well as the Xian family, the Long family, and the demonic Immortal Heavenly Gate, did not like him very much. Xiaohua felt that it was a little strange. Why did these people have such a big opinion of him? Family head Xiao, our Heavenly Tiger Star's Zhuo Fengba, is dead. A middle-aged man said coldly. His life pearl has shattered. Friend, what is the meaning of this? Xiaohua's tone was filled with anger. What do you mean? Zhuo Fengba was with your grandson, Xiao Jingyuan, and even gave Xiao Jingyuan a lot of benefits. Xiao Jingyuan promised Zhuo Fengba to give us the sacred infant fruit. The middle-aged man furiously said, Now that Zhuo Fengba is dead, we can't find Xiao Jingyuan. Xiaohua coldly said, Truth be told, Xiao Jingyuan is also dead. I even suspect that it was you guys from the Heavenly Tiger Planet who killed him. Is that true? He Inyun said with a frown. I am the City Lord. How can I not know about such a thing happening in the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City? I can sign a soul contract to guarantee that my grandson Xiao Jingyuan is indeed dead. Xiaohua said. The middle-aged man from the Heavenly Tiger Star really made Xiaohua sign a soul contract, and then confirmed that Xiao Jingyuan is indeed dead. Xiao Jingyuan and Zhuo Fengba were together before, but how did they die? It must be known that these two are very strong 9th-stage Earth Immortals, and the equipment in their hands is not bad. To be able to kill them, it must be a very powerful existence. At this moment, everyone looked at Black Rat by Zay. Black Rat by Zay is somewhat helpless. He can only sign a soul contract to show that they did not do it. Don't worry, as the City Lord, I will definitely investigate thoroughly. He also did not want the atmosphere here to be so stiff. He promptly said some words. Xiaohua said, City Lord if you really want to talk about cooperation, then let's talk alone. A middle-aged man from the Immortal family said with sneer, Xiao family head, our immortal desolate great emperor once looked for you and wanted to discuss cooperation with you on subduing inscription beasts. You refused at that time. You also refused our devil immortal heavenly gate. The middle-aged man from the devil immortal heavenly gate said coldly, Xiao family head, don't tell me you look down on my Long family. You also refused to cooperate with us. The Long family youth coldly snorted and said, Because of your refusal, we missed many opportunities to subdue inscription beasts. The middle-aged man from the Immortal family said coldly, Xiao family head, although your true body is an immortal emperor, we are not afraid of you. You must make things clear today. The middle-aged man from the Heavenly Tiger Star also shouted, Your grandson took our things. Even if he is dead, your Xiao family must fulfill your promise and give the holy infant fruit to our Heavenly Tiger Star. All of you shut up. Xiaohua shouted angrily. You bunch of ants, are you looking down on me because I'm using a puppet clone now? Who my Xiao family wants to cooperate with? What do you have to do with it? The reason why we don't cooperate with you is because you are too poor. You only want to get the biggest benefit, but you are not willing to give us anything. Xiaohua is also unable to suppress his anger and finally flipped out. The Black Mouse by Zay watched from the side and also found it very interesting, because this is the first time they have seen such a dispute between humans. Your Xiao family's inscription level is the worst among the inscription families. It's normal for you to be looked down upon. The middle-aged man from the Qi family laughed loudly and said, Xiao family head, everyone knows that your inscription level is very poor. That's why you were sent to be the family head. Xiaohua said coldly, You are just a small character from the Qi family, yet you dare to mock me like this. Could it be that your Qi family has already stepped on our Xiao family's head? I am a small character. Xiao Hua, you are too arrogant. Do you know who I, Qi Xiuhai, am? Qi Xiuhai shouted coldly. Qin Yun is now seriously looking at Qi Xiuhai. He is a bald, middle-aged man with a round face and short hair. His stomach is a bit big. With a single glance, one can tell that he is an inscription master who is not good at fighting and spends all day researching inscription. The people here are all dissatisfied with the Xiao family. Now that they have met Xiao Hua, a weak puppet avatar of an immortal emperor, they naturally want to wantonly mock him. In the future, when they return, they can brag everywhere. Xiao Hua's true body is an immortal emperor. Mocking an immortal emperor is a very awesome thing. Of course, if it was in front of Xiao Hua's true body, they wouldn't even dare to fart. Xiao Hua is also angered. He is a dignified immortal emperor, but because his true body can't come, his puppet avatar is being besieged by a group of trash. He is very angry in his heart. Xiao family head, you are merely from the inscription profound sect. Qi Xiuhai is also from the inscription profound sect. It is true that your true body is an immortal emperor, but you, an immortal emperor, are only from the inscription profound sect. Don't you feel ashamed? The person who spoke is a middle-aged man from the Long family. His voice is filled with ridicule. Xiao Hua is about to explode from anger. He knows that as an immortal emperor and an inscription profound sect, it is indeed somewhat wretched. However, when someone said it to his face, it is like slapping his face. There are more than 100 people here. All of them are from various famous sects and aristocratic families. Only those super great powers, such as the Immortal Family and the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, dare to mock Xiao Hua. And now, the majority of the people here are more or less looking at Xiao Hua with disdain. Xiao Hua really wanted to turn around and leave, but he didn't because he wants to continue accompanying Qin Yun here. He Shu Baizai's impression of Xiao Hua is very good. Just now, they secretly communicated with each other and decided to help Xiao Hua. He Shu said, Senior Qi Xiuhai, it seems like you are a pretty good inscription profound sect. I'm also an inscription master. How about competing with me? The people in the lobby immediately burst into an uproar. They didn't know that these two inscription beasts are inscription masters. Qi Xianzong, don't be a coward. Represent us humans and compete with the inscription beasts. An old man said, How do you want to compete? Qi Xiuhai is also very interested. If he can defeat the formidable human transformation inscription beasts, it will be a matter of great prestige. At this moment, those few great powers no longer entangled themselves with Xiao Hua. Otherwise, they would have continued to mock Xiao Hua. He Shu took out a talisman and said, I have a talisman here. When I activate this talisman, it will erupt within a certain period of time. You must make this talisman stop before the eruption. Of course, the eruption will only spray some water. This is a water-gathering, immortal talisman. Qi Xiuhai said with smile, Hey Shu friend, you are very familiar with humans' method of comparison. This is also the method we commonly use. All right, you activate it. I will definitely be able to break it. Rest assured, my inscription is also 12th level finesse. Our levels should be the same. He Shu faintly smiled. After activating the talisman, he handed it over to Qi Xiuhai. Everyone distanced themselves a bit and then seriously looked at the talisman. The talisman is made of white bee skin. It looks somewhat thick. After Qi Xiuhai took it, he took out a carving knife and looked at the talisman with frown. Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit Eye to observe the runes inside the talisman. He is amazed to discover that these runes are very special. They have the same charm as the heavenly runes he saw before. Qi Xiuhai was originally very confident, but after receiving the talisman, he became dumbfounded. He is sweating profusely. He very earnestly observed the runes inside the talisman. Hua! The talisman suddenly erupted and sprayed out a large amount of water, drenching Qi Xiuhai's entire body. Human friend, you have lost, He Shu said with smile. He Shu friend, your runes are truly formidable. If my guess is not wrong, it must be a heavenly rune. Not to mention me. Even an inscription master who can carve 13th level finesse would not be able to break it in a short period of time. Not to mention Xiao Hua. Even he would not be able to do it. Qi Xiuhai said, I wholeheartedly accept my loss. Qinyan suddenly said, Don't speak in such absolute terms. Family Head's true body is not here, so he is unable to unleash his strongest mental power and blood spirit power. Naturally, he would not be able to break it. You are Xiao Yingying's little follower, right? You really know a lot. I heard that you were sent by a Xiao family head to protect Xiao Yingying. You also understand inscription, right? A youth from Heavenly Tiger Planet said. I understand a bit. I think it won't be difficult for me to break that talisman. Qinyan looked at Xiao Hua and said again, But I need Family Head's guidance. Chapter 1489. Crack Master Xiao Hua knew that Qin Yun's level of inscription was not bad, but he never thought that Qin Yun would actually volunteer to stand up for him. The majority of the people in the palace seemed to be intentionally suppressing the Xiao family. Xiao Hua guessed that it was because of Xiao Jingyuan. Xiao Jingyuan and his other grandsons definitely didn't have a strong enough stance in front of those disciples of the famous sections. That's why their Xiao family was looked down upon. In addition, the Xiao clan possessed the secret technique to subdue the inscription beast, but they did not share it with the other major powers. That was why the Xiao clan was disliked. Qi Xiuhai sneered, Xiao Hua, are the followers of your Xiao clan all so powerful? He's actually stronger than me. I'm not that much stronger than you. I'm about the same as you. Xiao Hua smiled faintly. Today I am only a puppet avatar, so it is indeed inconvenient to use the inscriptions. I can only ask this little brother to do it for me. Xiao Hua, are you serious? Qi Xiuhai sneered. It was very rude of him to call Xiao Hua by his name. Of course I'm serious. Xiao Hua smiled and said, Little brother, go and compete with this He Shu friend. He Shu looked at Qin Yun and said with slight astonishment, This young brother, can you really crack my immortal talisman? We said that we wanted to take him in as our disciple, but he rejected us. Could it be that he has already acknowledged a master teacher? Baizhe laughed and said, I really couldn't tell that such a young boy's level of inscription is actually so high. Qi Xiuhai is unhappy. He said mockingly, My two friends, do you really believe that a youth still wet behind the ears can have an inscription technique above mine? I am a famous mysterious inscription sect, proficient in several kinds of totems, many kinds of immortal runes, and star runes. You'll know once you try. He Shu took out an immortal talisman, and then he passed it to Qi Xiuhai and said with a smile, Friend, take a look at this talisman. Isn't it the same as the one I gave you earlier? Qi Xiuhai received it and took a look. He said with a smile, Seems to be a little better than my previous one. Friend He Shu, do you really intend to let him try? Isn't this a waste of immortal talismans? It's just a water-gathering talisman. This kind of talisman is meant to be used for fun. He Shu chuckled and then said to Qin Yun, Little brother, I am ready to activate it. Are you ready? I'm ready. Qin Yun nodded. Black Rat activated the water-gathering immortal talisman and handed it to Qin Yun. After receiving it, Qin Yun did not take out the floating cloud divine needle. However, his palms overflowed with formidable blood spirit power. The water-gathering immortal talisman is releasing weak energy and will soon explode. This is mainly due to He Shu's remaining mental power inside the immortal talisman. He is controlling the runes inside to circulate and release the stored energy. Qin Yun took the water-gathering immortal talisman and immediately infused it with powerful blood-soul power. He stabilized the runes that are circulating energy crazily and erased the remnant mental power inside. Soon, the water-gathering divine talisman calmed down. The main reason he could do it was because he had a deep understanding of inscriptions. With just a look with his extinction spirit eye, he knew the key inscriptions that controlled the talisman. Then, he would target the key runes and break the water-gathering immortal talisman's eruption. All right, Qin Yun smiled at He Shu and returned the water-gathering immortal talisman. He Shu and Witzard exchanged shocked glances. They had never expected that someone would be able to dispel the water-gathering celestial talisman so quickly. Furthermore, it was a young man. Everyone present looked at each other in dismay and whispered in each other's ears in amazement. Qi Xiuhai's face turned red because someone said that he's inferior to a Xiao family youth, and that this youth is Xiaohua's follower. How is this possible? It must be a coincidence. Qi Xiuhai sensed everyone's disdainful gaze and promptly explained. It is not a coincidence. He can truly dispel my water-gathering immortal talisman. How did he do it? He Shu said with frown. My water-gathering immortal talisman has a unique heavenly rune. He doesn't understand these heavenly runes, but he knows the key inscriptions to control them. Some heavenly runes cannot be touched carelessly, otherwise they will explode. Xiao Hua said with smile. Qi Xiuhai, isn't your Qi family's inscription technique too inferior? You, a famous inscription profound sect, is actually inferior to my Xiao family's little demon. And you actually look down on me, the family master. If everyone in the Qi family were like you, they would surely walk towards destruction. Xiao family's inscription technique is truly worthy of its reputation. A little nameless youth is so outstanding. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it, He Yin said with smile. Earlier, when Xiao Hua was criticized by many people, He Yin did not utter a single word. Now seeing that the youth beside Xiao Hua is suppressing Qi Xiuhai, He Yin promptly flattered. This kind of skill of changing the rudder with the wind caused people to secretly despise him. Qi Xiuhai is being suppressed by youth. Moreover, it is a nameless youth from the Xiao family. This caused him to be very angry. This kind of small quarrel is not interesting, Qi Xiuhai said with evil smile. I am not directly competing with that youth. You are saying that I am being suppressed by him. This is not right. Why don't we have a direct competition? After speaking, he took out a dazzling golden talisman. Looking at it, this talisman looks like a thin crystal chip. It contains very strong energy. This is a top-quality immortal talisman, Flame Thunder Immortal Talisman. It is very precious. However, in order to test this little brother's level, I am throwing caution to the wind. Everyone present let out a burst of low voice of astonishment. A top-quality Flame Thunder Immortal Talisman is a very powerful immortal talisman. If it explodes, even a Dao immortal would be injured. And the feeling Qin Yun gives people is that he is only an earth immortal. No matter how strong he is, he would not be able to resist the might of the Flame Thunder Immortal Talisman. Xiao Hua shook his head at Qin Yun because this is very dangerous. You don't dare. Qi Xiuhai chuckled and said, just now, this little demon was able to calmly break a weak water-gathering immortal talisman. If he could break a very powerful Flame Thunder Immortal Talisman, what would happen? He would definitely pee his pants in fright, huh? Everyone present also roared with laughter. He Shu said, can you let me take a look at the Flame Thunder Immortal Talisman? Of course. Qi Xiuhai promptly handed over the Flame Thunder Immortal Talisman. After He Shu took it, Bai Zhe also came over to take a look. Very good, Bai Zhe praised. The runes are very neat. The level is very high. The blood spirit power is very strong. The energy flowing inside the runes is very plentiful. He Shu also repeatedly nodded. If it was me, I wouldn't be able to break it. Human friend, you can't break my talisman. I also can't break your talisman. We are even. Qi Xiuhai took the talisman and said with proud smile, many thanks for your praise. This talisman took me 3 months to make. It is my pinnacle work. He Shu said to Qin Yun, little brother, you better not try. It is very dangerous. If the energy inside the talisman explodes, the might will be very strong. You will be injured. Qin Yun said with indifferent expression, it's fine, I want to try. They all said I would pee my pants. I want to prove that I won't pee my pants. Everyone roared with laughter again. Little demon, if you really try, it won't be as simple as peeing your pants. You will lose your little life, the Heavenly Tiger youth mocked. It's rare for your Xiao family to have such a good genius. If it would die like this, it would be such a pity. He Yin also promptly persuaded. It's fine, come. Qin Yun's expression is indifferent. He Yin can only take out many flags and insert them into a circle. He said, you can do it inside. Even if it explodes, it won't damage this place. Xiao Hua said coldly, if the Thunder Flame Immortal Talisman explodes in such a small place, wouldn't he not be able to escape? It's fine. Qin Yun smiled and said, Patriarch, I can handle it. Xiao Hua is very worried, but thinking that this youth is Qin Yun, he can only nod and let Qin Yun try. Qi Xiuhai said with a sinister smile, Little brother, after this talisman is activated, I will shout 10 times and it will explode. You must hurry up. After saying that, he activated the talisman and handed it to Qin Yun. Qin Yun, who was standing inside the flag array, took out the floating cloud divine needle. He used the extinction spirit eye together with the wildfire inscription spirit and quickly saw through the key runes inside the thunder flame immortal talisman. With a few moves, he broke several key runes. At this time, Qi Xiuhai shouted 5 times. Qin Yun has already deciphered the talisman, but he still continued. He broke many key runes and completely destroyed the talisman, causing it to become useless. Qi Xiuhai was originally very reluctant to take out this talisman because it is a very precious top-grade immortal talisman. Not only does it require a very long time to make, it also requires a large amount of precious materials. If he can kill that youth with the explosion, Qi Xiuhai feels that it is worth it. After shouting 10 times, the talisman did not explode. Qin Yun put away the floating cloud divine needle and said indifferently, I have deciphered it. This is impossible. Qi Xiuhai is very astonished. He immediately walked over and saw that the light on the surface of the talisman has disappeared. Everyone is also very astonished. They let out a burst of clamorous exclamations and discussions. At this moment, they are even more astonished at this youth's talent and inscription. This time, Qi Xiuhai is completely defeated. He looked at his Thunder Flame Immortal Talisman that has been destroyed into a complete mess. He wants to cry, but no tears come out. This is a waste of a very expensive top-grade Immortal Talisman. Qin Yun suddenly took out a light golden talisman and said with a smile, This is a talisman I made. Senior, do you dare to decipher it? Why wouldn't I dare? You are an expert in deciphering immortal talismans. The talismans you make are definitely not that good. You should specialize in deciphering immortal talismans, right? Qi Xiuhai coldly groaned and said, Only by deciphering Qin Yun's talisman can he, Qi Xiuhai, regain some face, otherwise he will be laughed at by others. Qin Yun walked out of the flag formation, and Qi Xiuhai went in. After shouting about 20 times, my talisman exploded. Its power is very strong. You must be careful, Qin Yun said. 20 times? It took so long to explode. What kind of broken talisman is this? Qi Xiuhai said with a disdainful smile. Don't worry, I can definitely decipher this kind of broken talisman. Even if I can't decipher it, it won't explode me to death. All right, then I will activate it. After Qin Yun activated the talisman, he handed it over to Qi Xiuhai. Chapter 1490. Forced to take action. Chapter 1490. Forced to take action, generally speaking, only when refining special magic tool or weapon. One can hide runes underneath. But when crafting talismans, there is no need to do so. Hiding runes underneath talisman paper not only increases the difficulty, crafting is also very tiring and easy to fail. It can be said that it is strenuous but not rewarding. And the talisman in Qi Xiuhai's hand has hidden runes underneath. It is very difficult to see those runes. This talisman was crafted by Qin Yun using the leftover sacred flame liquid of annihilation. He doesn't know how powerful it is because he has never tried it. The sacred flame liquid of annihilation absorbs Yao Feng's immortal emperor power. If it erupts, its might will definitely be very strong. The reason why Qin Yun hid the runes underneath is because it can make the talisman even stronger. It can better fuse with the energy inside the immortal talisman and erupt with even more formidable power. Qi Xiuhai looked at the talisman and his brows tightly knitted. Now, he is secretly apprehensive of Qin Yun's level. He can actually craft this kind of talisman. This is something that can only be done with very high-level inscription technique. Although he can also do it, he will not deliberately do it. The rune level of your talisman is very ordinary. You only use some small tricks, so it looks very difficult to break. Qi Xiuhai coldly groaned and said, "Although I can't break it, this talisman is only so as though." He said this to find a way out of the situation that he can't break it. Qin Yun has been silently counting. Now, 20 counts have passed. The talisman in Qi Xiuhai's hand suddenly trembled. This kind of broken talisman's might is definitely not strong. Come, Qi Xiuhai said with sneer, then promptly released immortal power from his body and formed a protective barrier. Everyone retreated one after another. Boom! Intense light suddenly burst out from inside the flag formation. The shockwave from the explosion caused the entire hall to tremble. The loud noise caused the surrounding people to feel incomparably terrified. It must be said that the flag formation is very strong. It can withstand the formidable explosive power inside. But still a wave of air rippled out, blowing the surrounding people back again and again. The power of the explosion is very great. The duration of the explosion is very short. Many people's clothes became disheveled, and their hair became disheveled. After the hall calmed down, everyone immediately looked at the flag formation and became dumbstruck. There are only a few pieces of burnt body inside the flag formation. Qi Xiuhai was dead. This was a profound inscription sect, and he was very young. Being able to become a profound inscription sect master with the cultivation of a 9th stage Earth Immortal was very outstanding. But now he was killed by a talisman. Qi family's few middle-aged and old men immediately cried out in grief. Then they glared at Qin Yun. Qin Yun was also very shocked by the power of the sacred flame liquid of annihilation. It was actually able to kill off a 9th layer Earthen Immortal. If it was the annihilation holy flame arrow that he refined, the power would definitely be stronger. Brat, you're so ruthless. A middle-aged man from the Qi family hurriedly rushed over. Xiaohua immediately stood in front of Qin Yun and said with a sneer, "Everyone knows what happened just now, right? If little brother is unable to break Qi Xiuhai's talisman, then he will also be blown to death. Why don't you say that Qi Xiuhai is ruthless?" He Shu said, Qi Xiuhai's skill was not as good as others, and he was also full of himself. He thought that talisman was very weak. His death has nothing to do with little brother. Bai Zhe also nodded and said, "It was Qi Xiuhai who first proposed to compete with a very destructive immortal talisman." Black Rat and Bai Zhe were on Qin Yun's side. They were also very alarmed, because the might of that talisman just now is indeed very dreadful. Even Xiao Hua was scared by the might of that talisman. Xiao Hua looked at He Yin and said, "City Lord, this is your territory. You should reason things out." He Yin said with some difficulty, "Logically speaking, this kind of competition has life and death danger. Moreover, both sides are willing. If something happens, no one can be blamed." Qi family people's expression turned ugly. They lost an outstanding and famous inscription profound sect. This is a disastrous loss. What they are most unable to accept is that Qi Xiuhai was killed by a nameless youth, and that youth is even a member of the Xiao family. This matter will definitely spread out. This way, their Qi family's inscription level will be questioned. This kind of competition is a competition of talismans made by oneself. I don't believe that this little demon can make such a powerful, immortal talisman. He must have picked it up from somewhere. An old man from the Qi family shouted in anger. He used someone else's talisman to kill our Qi family's inscription profound sect. This matter must be explained clearly. That talisman was indeed made by me. Qin Yun said with smile. "Do you want me to make one on the spot, and you could try to decipher it? Just make it on the spot, and throw it into the flag formation. Let's see its power. Chief family old man said, if you really made it yourself, then we will be convinced. All right. Qin Yin took out a talisman paper. The main material of the talisman paper is a sacred flame liquid of annihilation. He only needs to carve runes on it. Let's check that talisman paper. Chief family old man walked over and carefully looked at the talisman. He even injected his mental power to probe it. There are also a few inscription profound sect present. They all went over to take a look, but did not discover that the talisman paper was mixed with sacred flame liquid of annihilation. After the inspection, Qin Yin can begin. You will probably need a few months, right? We are willing to wait for you. Chief family old man said coldly. If you can't make it, then you are dead for sure. I don't need a few months, just 1 hour will do. As Qin Yin spoke, he took out the floating cloud divine needle and quickly carved runes. The natural and smooth feeling caused all the inscription masters present to be extremely shocked. He Shu and Bai Zhe are very close to Qin Yin. They can see it even more clearly and are also the most shocked. The runes Qin Yin is currently carving are very complicated and special. Moreover, they're all hidden under the talisman paper. Xiaohua knows that Qin Yin's inscription level is very high, so he is not surprised. Is it a totem rune? He Shu said in low voice. A very strong fire attribute totem rune. Could it be a fire dragon totem? It's not a beast totem. Bai Zhe shook his head. What Qin Yin is currently carving is the sacred flame totem from the Qi family. It is the powerful totem rune he swindled from the Qi family. Although there are Qi family inscription masters here, they can't tell. The people from the Qi family are secretly alarmed. This is because this youth's inscription technique is indeed very impressive. Not long after, Qin Yin finished crafting the talisman and said, I'm done. Can I give a try now? Yin nodded. Put the talisman into the flag formation. I will open the flag formation. After Qin Yin threw the talisman in, everyone immediately jumped back in fright. Yin's heart is also secretly in suspense. He quickly controlled the flag formation to open. Boom! The talisman very quickly exploded. The power it released is as strong as before. This caused everyone to cry out in alarm once again. The might of the talisman produced in such a short period of time is already so terrifying. This caused all the inscription masters to find it hard to believe. Little brother, your talisman is so strong. The main reason is because you carved very powerful totem runes, right? Furthermore, you can still carve it so fast. Could it be that you have mastered inscription spirit? Yun asked. No, Qin Yin said. The Qi family people are gnashing their teeth in hatred. The people from the other major powers are also very jealous of the young boy in front of them. They are certain that the young boy has inscription spirit and a powerful totem on his body. Xiaohua suddenly felt that the atmosphere here is not right. The people from the major powers seem to be secretly communicating with each other. Little brother, let's go. Xiaohua immediately pulled Qin Yin and wanted to leave. An old man for the Qi family suddenly jumped over and blocked Xiaohua and Qin Yin. You killed Qi Xiuhai and you want to leave just like that? The old man from the Qi family said coldly. He is courting death. Xiaohua is very angry. He can't break that talisman, so he will be responsible for the deaths and injuries caused by it. Xiaohua, just leave that little demon behind. The old man from the Qi family said coldly. Otherwise, I guarantee that I will kill your puppet avatar and your sickly, precious granddaughter. I will also make her die a horrible death. Does your Qi family really want to start a war with our Xiao family? Xiaohua said angrily. Oomph. The old man from the Qi family laughed sinisterly. Xiaohua looked around and saw that everyone else is silent. Clearly, they have already discussed this earlier. He Shu said with a frown. This is not good. Brother He Shu, you just signed a soul contract. You can't fight here. Don't meddle in other people's business. He and Yin reminded. City Lord He, what do you mean by this? Don't tell me that you are tacitly allowing the Qi family to attack us? Xiaohua angrily rebuked. You bastard, what exactly are your intentions? He and Yun said, You killed Chi Xiuhai and you did it in my territory. It's already good enough that I didn't personally deal with you. Bai Zhe said with a frown. You humans, could it be that you want to capture little brother? Snatch the inscription spirit and the mysterious totem on his body? You two, hurry up and leave. He Yin said indifferently. There will be a battle here very soon. Oomph. He Shu unhappily snorted and walked out. Little brother, I'm sorry. With the soul contract, our movements here are restricted. Bai Zhe sighed and said, but don't worry. If anything happens to you, we will definitely not let these guys off. They can't attack here, so they can't help Qin Yun and Xiaohua. Surround Xiaohua and that little demon. He Yin suddenly shouted. The inscription spirit belongs to us. Everyone can share the totem runes. Xiaohua wished that his puppet avatar had the formidable immortal emperor power of his main body so that he could crush all these people to death. City Lord He, you are truly greedy. You want to monopolize the inscription spirit. Aren't you afraid of being swallowed? Qin Yun sneered. A faint fiery red arrow suddenly appeared in his hand. Little demon, take the initiative and hand over the totem runes. That Xiaohua is just a puppet avatar. He can't die, but you're different. He Yin laughed sinisterly and said, don't worry. We have a very brilliant soul refiner here. They can easily take out your inscription spirit. Chapter 1491. Battle of Scarlet Slaughter. Yin laughed loudly and said, you want to kill me? Who do you think you are? Forget about you. Even if Qin Yun came, he wouldn't be able to kill me. Everyone roared with laughter. Brat, do you really not know your current situation? You actually want to kill the city lord. The chief family elder laughed sinisterly. Let me take care of this brat. There's no need to trouble you elders. The heavenly tiger youth took out a long whip and walked toward Qin Yun. Surrender without a fight. Xiaohua was the most furious. He shouted, you bunch of fellows, you don't put me Xiaohua in your eyes. You will regret it. Shut up. The heavenly tiger youth lashed at Xiaohua with his whip. Xiaohua quickly reached out and grabbed the whip. At the same time, Qin Yun's body leaped forward like lightning. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand pierced towards the heavenly tiger youth's head. Although his speed is very fast, the heavenly tiger youth's armor reacted even faster and formed a very strong barrier. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hand is very strong. It is filled with an incomparably fierce might. The most terrifying thing is that the heavenly might Tao astral energy condensed on the arrowhead, accompanied by the sharp arrowhead, smoothly pierced through the barrier. The sun-suppressing divine arrow pierced through the barrier and produced a dull bang sound. The arrowhead also pierced through the youth's head. The fierce immortal power that was poured into the sun-suppressing divine arrow exploded, shattering the youth's head. Because the sun-suppressing divine arrow did not have the support of the sun core, it lost its powerful 10,000 devour ability. Otherwise, its power would be even more terrifying. After the young man's head was smashed, the fragments flew everywhere. This also scared the group of people silly. The strength of this brat in front of them is actually so terrifying. Old Xiao, you should go. Leave this place to me. Qin Yun wanted Xiaohua to protect Xiao Yingying and the others. Can you really handle it? Xiaohua is somewhat worried. Kill! He Yun suddenly shouted. He did not rush out. The others did the same. They are not stupid. That young man killed the heavenly tiger youth in one move. He must be very strong. Furthermore, he might even have a very powerful talisman. He Yun also felt that he had miscalculated. They thought that Xiaohua's puppet avatar was nothing to be afraid of and that it would be easy to take down a young man. But the young man in front of him was so terrifying. Qin Yun doesn't have time to deal with Xiaohua anymore. He promptly used passing shadow extinction breath step and disappeared. Then he released the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet and enveloped He Yun. He Yun's reaction is very fast. As expected of a powerful warrior from Sacred Desolate, he can immediately dodge the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. He shouted, Brat, you're courting death. You're the ones courting death. Qin Yin promptly used his formidable mental power to control the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet to envelop the other Qi family old man. The old man from the Qi family didn't react as quickly as Yin Yun and was trapped by the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Qin Yin suddenly went over and controlled the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet to release violent lightning, causing the old man to scream miserably. Stop! The middle-aged man from the Qi clan suddenly rushed over. Qin Yin released tree vines and entangled the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man was suddenly entangled by the thick vines of the water jar. He was caught unprepared. Just as he was panicking, he saw Qin Yin appear in front of him. Hu Qi! Qin Yin shot the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and it penetrated the middle-aged man's head. Boom! Then Qin Yin used Heaven Explosion Finger and destroyed the upper half of the middle-aged man's body. Another one died. Everyone sucked in a mouthful of cold air. That middle-aged man is a very strong 9th-stage Earth Immortal, yet he was killed by a young man in just a few moves. Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet kept releasing violent lightning and hacked down on the Qi family old man inside. Qin Yin controlled the goblet to fly up, then rushed over and chopped down with his palm. A dense killing intent immediately pervaded the air. Heaven Killing Palm. The terrifying killing aura was filled with ferocious celestial force. It exploded with a vast sound and landed on the old man's body, shattering the Qi family old man into pieces. Such a dreadful youth caused everyone present to be extremely apprehensive. Everyone quickly joined hands and kill him. Yin Yun also discovered that the situation is somewhat out of control because no one dares to attack. Qin Yin promptly took out the Lion King cannon. There are 10 Sacred Destruction flame arrows inside the Lion King cannon. Qin Yin shot them at a group of people not far away. Xiao xiao xiao. The Sacred Destruction flame arrows shot by the Lion King cannon are very fast. They are as fast as lightning and arrived at those people in the blink of an eye. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly a violent and ferocious flame wave burst out inside the main hall and flooded the entire hall. Everyone jumped and fled in all directions within the scorching heat. The main hall has actually collapsed due to the intense explosion. Now, the interior of the manor has also been affected by the shockwave. The Sacred Destruction flame arrows are very dreadful. After the flame wave broke through the main hall, it engulfed all around. More than half of the east side of the manor has been destroyed in a short while. More than 20 of those people who wanted to attack Qin Yin just now have been killed or injured. Among them, several have their bodies smashed to pieces. Burnt flesh flew all over the place. The Sacred Destruction flame arrows are inside the Lion King cannon. Qin Yin promptly loaded them up and shot at those people who are running away. Boom, boom, boom. Another series of trembling sound exploded. More than 10 9th-stage Earth Immortals have been killed. Yin Yun and the others are all extremely scared. They really did not expect that the thing in that youngster's hand would be so dreadful. It is enough to kill them all. City Master, quickly bring out the divine desolate puppets, someone suddenly shouted. Just as that person finished shouting, Qin Yun rushed over and killed him with sun-suppressing divine arrow. Yin Yun is extremely regretful in his heart. He should not have become enemies with Xiaohua. They thought that Xiaohua is just a puppet avatar. No matter how strong it is, it cannot be that strong. They can easily take it down. As for that youngster, they did not even take him seriously from the start. But now, that youngster has displayed very dreadful power, especially those cannon arrows. Just one arrow can kill a 9th-stage Earth Immortal. Qin Yun raised the Lion King cannon and aimed at the people in the distance. As long as a 9th-stage Earth Immortal is locked on by him, they will not be able to escape. They will be killed by one arrow and their body will explode. Yin Yun, don't run. Qin Yun chased after Yin Yun and shouted. Yin Yun ran towards the sun altar and roared, "Divine desolate puppets, quickly come out. A powerful enemy is attacking." The City Master Palace's defense is indeed very strong, but now someone still managed to sneak in. If Yin Yun knew that youngster is so dreadful, He would not have dared to act recklessly even if he had several more guts. Immortal family, devil immortal heavenly gate, Chi family, heavenly tiger star and long family. These few powerful factions people were killed by the arrows just now. Even if they survived, they were seriously injured and were hacked to death by Xiao Hua's saber. Xiao Hua knew that Qin Yin wants to attack the sun altar, but he did not expect Qin Yin to be so well prepared. Those cannon arrows were clearly prepared to deal with a large group of ninth-stage Earth Immortals. Scarlet Slaughter's Sacred City's people were also alarmed by the explosion and loud sound coming from the large villa. Many people immediately realized that an intense battle has occurred in the large villa. This caused the people inside the city to flee one after another in fear. They want to quickly leave the city. Qin Yun is attacking the sun altar. Quickly run. That guy is very dreadful. How did he attack inside? I don't know. In short, that guy has a way. Let's quickly leave the city. A large group of people shouted and frantically fled. Scarlet Slaughter's Sacred City immediately became a pot of porridge. Many people felt that there's only one possibility for a battle to occur in the large villa. Qin Yun has arrived. Everyone knows that Qin Yun has a high chance of attacking the sun altar. So suddenly an intense battle occurred. Everyone thought that Qin Yun has arrived. It is indeed Qin Yun who is attacking. Qin Yun rushed towards the sun altar and said angrily, "Little demon, are you Qin Yun?" Qin Yun used 2 cannon arrows before and was unable to kill Yin Yun, so he could only use sun-suppressing divine arrow to kill him. Yin Yun came from Sacred Desolate and was chosen as the city master. His armor is very strong. His speed is also not slow. Very quickly, he rushed to the entrance of the sun altar. After Qin Yun arrived at the entrance, he was blocked outside. "Ha ha ha, you can't enter. We have puppet warriors from Divine Desolate. You are dead for sure." Yin Yun laughed sinisterly. "You must be Qin Yun. You can turn into a little youth. It is really unexpected. City Master you should be happy first. You will die soon anyway," Qin Yun said coldly. At this moment, a large group of people arrived and surrounded Qin Yun. There are many Sacred Desolate soldiers among them. "What are you doing here? Quickly run." Yin Yun saw a large group of Sacred Desolate soldiers arrived and promptly shouted in fear. A sneer appeared on the corner of Qin Yun's mouth. He held the Lion King cannon and shot out sacred flame arrows one by one. Amidst a burst of violent explosion sound, many Sacred Desolate soldiers screamed miserably again and again. A large number of broken body parts flew in all directions and were burned by intense flame. "Qin Yun, you bastard! You will not have a good death," Yin Yun shouted in anger. More than half of their Sacred Desolate people died in a short while. The remaining few dozen are also seriously injured. They're rolling on the ground and screaming miserably. Qin Yun took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow and went to kill those people one by one. "Your Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City wants to capture me on behalf of Dao Yang Divine Sect. You will have to bear the consequences of my revenge," Qin Yun said with sneer. "You injured City Master Luo before. Today I came to take revenge for him. You are dead for sure." Yin Yun's expression is sinister. He is now very anxious. Why haven't those Divine Desolate puppet warriors arrived yet? Suddenly, a powerful aura surged out from the entrance of the sun altar. Divine Desolate puppet warriors came out. There is only one. This made Qin Yun feel a lot more at ease. He was worried that there would be many of them. If there's only one, then he can deal with it. Yin Yun laughed sinisterly and said, "Qin Yun, your time of death has arrived." In Yin Yun's eyes, the puppet warriors from Divine Desolate are certainly invincible. Dealing with Qin Yun is not a problem at all. The puppet warrior wore a set of light blue heavy armor, and its face was covered by a helmet, making it impossible to see its face. Chapter 1492. Again, dismantle altar. Qin Yun is slightly startled. The person controlling the puppet is actually an elder from Dao Yang Divine Sect. "I was the one who destroyed your sun altar." Back then, it was your altar that kept attacking me. Moreover, the people you sent wanted to capture me and destroy my things. Qin Yun said in cold voice, your Dao Yang divine sect should quickly give up on chasing me. With your little bit of power, you are not my match. Impudent. The puppet shouted loudly and walked out of the entrance barrier. A long sword suddenly appeared in its hand, and it ferociously stabbed at Qin Yun. Qin Yun put away the Lion King cannon and used the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand to block the sharp sword. Sun-suppressing divine arrow. You actually have sun-suppressing divine arrow. The puppet shouted in alarm and laughed sinisterly. Very good. This sun-suppressing divine arrow is mine. Within the sun altar, Yin Yun was also shocked to the extreme. He now knows why Qin Yun is so formidable. It is because he has sun-suppressing divine arrow. Sun-suppressing divine arrow is half damaged. If it had 10,000 devourability, it would be at its strongest state. After Qin Yun and the puppet exchanged dozens of moves, he promptly retreated and fled. The puppet warriors were very strong and could release waves of powerful divine power. Although that set of armor was not divine armor, it was not far from it. The shield released by the vigorous divine power was very sturdy and could not be penetrated at all. Even if Qin Yun used space-piercing finger, his finger power would still be blocked. He now knows why Yin Yun is so confident that the puppet can kill him. Because the puppet is indeed very strong. Haha, don't run. The puppet said with sinister smile, I am an elder of Dao Yang divine sect. The puppet I control has rich battle experience. You are just an immortal desolate ant. You are not my match. Qin Yun did not run far. Instead, he ran around the large sun altar. If my sun-suppressing divine arrow was in perfect condition, that guy would have already been killed by me. Qin Yun put away the sun-suppressing divine arrow and took out 9 sun divine hammer. In one breath, he let the 9 sun divine hammer absorb all the fragments of the core in his hand. Only in this way could the 9 sun divine hammer stay awake for a longer period of time, so that it wouldn't fall asleep again at the critical moment. If the Dao Yang divine sect finds out that I have the 9 sun divine hammer, I can only throw caution to the wind. Qin Yun firmly held the 9 sun divine hammer, turned around, and smashed it towards the puppet warrior. The ferocious power of a 9th-tier earth immortal burst out through the 9 sun divine hammer and suddenly increased several times. The explosive power violently hit the energy shield of the puppet warrior's armor. Rumble. An energy wave exploded out, destroying most of the buildings in the villa. The puppet warrior was also sent flying, but it did not suffer any injuries. What is that? As soon as Yin Yun ran out of the altar, he was sent flying by the shockwave, scaring them into running back into the altar. The puppet warrior was also shocked. He was an elder of the Dao Yang divine sect, so he knew very well what that thing was. 9 sun divine hammer, one of the sun souls. How did it end up in his hands? The puppet warrior is extremely shocked, but he is even more ecstatic, because he feels that he can definitely defeat Qin Yun. At that time, not only he can obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, he can also obtain the 9 sun divine hammer. Ha, this is truly great. I finally know why you can destroy the sun altar. So you have this kind of thing. From today onwards, it is mine. The puppet warrior crawled up and let out a loud howl of laughter. Qin Yun frowned. He released the heavenly Dao's ferocious power into heavenly lion and fused it into his arm and 9 sun divine hammer. When he destroyed the evil dragon mountain before, he tried it and released a very dreadful power. In the blink of an eye, many black nether sun totems appeared on his arm and the 9 sun divine hammer. His arm is attached to the nether sun totems, so it can withstand most of the nether sun's power. Dao Yang divine sect. Very soon there will be a 9 sun sect like you, forever losing the sun altar. You trash are not worthy of the sun altar. Qin Yun's speed is now extremely fast, especially when he used the light transformation sacred pupil. In the blink of an eye, he arrived beside the puppet warrior. Boom! His 9 sun divine hammer exploded out a wave of ferocious nether sun power, accompanied by heavenly, might Tao aura and attacked. An incomparably loud explosion shook the entire Scarlet Slaughter holy city. A boundless pressure enveloped the entire city. Many people who came out of the city can feel how dreadful the aura erupting near the sun altar is. The puppet warrior was hit by the ferocious hammer attack, and its energy shield was finally broken. What kind of power is that? The puppet warrior who was sent flying is very astonished. So what if it's a puppet from Divine Desolate? Qin Yun promptly took out the Lion King cannon and shot out the remaining 10 sacred flame arrows. A series of explosion sounds rose up and set off waves of flame. In a short while, the flame enveloped an area of several thousand meters around the sun altar. The people outside the city saw the flame waves soaring up to the sky from the sun altar and immediately let out a burst of boiling shout. Is that Qin Yun even human? Is he a formidable human transformation inscription beast? Indeed, this kind of power is too dreadful. Could it be that even the divine desolate puppet warriors can't resist him? This guy is truly too heaven-defying. If he goes on like this, he will surely suffer heavenly punishment. How did Qin Yun enter that villa? That place's defense is very strong. A large group of people felt that this is inconceivable. Even though they are outside the city, they're still shocked by the aura erupting from the battle. He Shu and Bai Zhe tightly frowned as they watched. They did not expect that this young boy is actually the legendary Qin Yun. They finally understood why Qin Yun did not want to be their disciple, because they are not worthy to be Qin Yun's master. As the most formidable existences in the Scarlet Slaughter Swamp, now that they sense Qin Yun's power, they are all deeply worried. They are inscription beasts. Their cultivation surpasses 9th level Earth Immortal. They can still move around in the Scarlet Slaughter Swamp, but humans can't. Qin Yun is a 9th level Earth Immortal human, yet he grasps such formidable power. It makes them feel an indescribable threat. Xiao Yuanmei already brought Xiao Yingying out of the city. Now, both Xiao Yingying and Xiao Qianqian are secretly suspecting that this young boy is Qin Yun. Especially Xiao Yingying, she saw with her own eyes how Xiao Yuanmei turned Qin Yun into a young boy. Although she is naive and pure, now that she heard others say that Qin Yun attacked the sun altar, she immediately made the connection. Yuanmei, will Xiao Yun be all right? Xiao Yingying is somewhat worried about Qin Yun. He won't. Xiao Yun is very awesome, Xiao Yuanmei said with light smile and caressed Xiao Yingying's face. Xiao Hua is now near the sun altar. He is at the place where the battle is the most intense. Even though his puppet avatar is very strong, it was affected by the formidable power and suffered heavy injuries. Destruction. Destruction, sacred flame. After the puppet warrior was hit by a large number of destruction, sacred flame arrows, its armor also broke. It furiously said, "Did that slut-star god give it to you? Don't curse her." Qin Yun furiously shouted. He rushed over and smashed the puppet warrior's face with his hammer, creating a large amount of sparks. Qin Yun, even if you can kill me after entering, you will fall into our hands sooner or later. You have things like sun-suppressing divine arrow and 9-sun divine hammer. You won't be able to live long. The puppet warrior furiously said. Qin Yun let out a deep shout and used 6-style forging dragon on the puppet warrior. The might shook the heaven and earth. A wave of ferocious aura swept out in all directions like great waves. Your Dao Yang divine sect, listen to me. If you continue to chase after Star God, one day I will slaughter my way to the divine desolate and completely annihilate your Dao Yang divine sect. Qin Yun stepped on the puppet warrior whose body is cracked open and said coldly, "Star God will die." The puppet warrior laughed sinisterly and said, "Qin Yun, if you destroy this altar again, there will be one more 9-sun sects chasing after Star God." Qin Yun furiously shouted and smashed a few more times. Then he took out the heavenly lion-dragon suppressing cauldron and put the puppet warrior inside. Puppet warriors are not flesh and blood. They're just powerful puppets refined from many materials. They can't hurt. And the soul inside the puppet warrior can self-destruct. The main body is not affected at all. The vicinity of the sun altar finally calmed down. Qin Yun unleashed the floating immortal rune ability and leaped to the top. Then he fiercely smashed the top layer. Rumble. The barrier released by the sun altar was directly smashed to pieces by the nine-sun divine hammer. The spectators outside the city finally saw Qin Yun leap up and attack the sun altar. Seeing the sun altar's barrier being smashed, everyone cried out involuntarily. Qin Yun broke the sun altar's barrier, took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and stabbed it into the crack at the bottom of the top layer, causing the top layer to tilt up. After the sun altar's barrier is broken, it can be easily dismantled. The sun altar is only a huge stack of thick stone pieces. As long as one has a divine tool, they can easily dismantle it. Qin Yun is very experienced in dismantling altars. Very soon, only the bottom 3 layers are left. Inside the altar, there's only Yin Yun. The nine-sun divine hammer in Qin Yun's hand is still awake, is spewing out intense energy. This altar is more or less the same as the previous one. After Qin Yun entered, he released his mental power to probe his surroundings. Soon, he arrived at the 3rd layer. Yin Yun is in the 3rd layer. You, don't come over, believe it or not. I will destroy the god altar origin crystal, and we will perish together. Yin Yun held a talisman in his hand and shouted at Qin Yun, "The talisman in my hand is a saint talisman." The transparent heaven and earth devil sealing goblet suddenly dropped down and enveloped Yin Yun, then burst out with violent thunder and lightning. "I activated the saint talisman. You are done for. Haha." Yin Yun laughed sinisterly. Qin Yun quickly took away the god altar origin crystal and the box containing the core fragment. Then he took away the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet and quickly went down to the 2nd layer. Yin Yun did not expect that Qin Yun could easily take away the god altar origin crystal. Now he's extremely apprehensive. He wanted to escape, but he discovered that he is being entangled by tree vines. Boom! The saint talisman exploded. Yin Yun screamed miserably from the explosion of his own saint talisman. Qin Yun will return after the explosion of the 3rd layer ends. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.